Welcome to another Smite update show. This is the 10.2, the King of the Manticores update show, and the second update of our first season of Year 10, the Season of Monsters. For those that don't know me, I am Titan Dandy, happy to be here, joined by two of my amazing cohorts, of whom you've seen before. We have Aggro and Lermy. Welcome to the show, y'all.
What up?
Hey.
Finally patch notes time.
Finally,
Oh yeah,
patch notes
and this is a
time.
fun one.
It is.
Yeah, we got a lot to go on here, so these are going to be my commiserates for the whole show, so I hope you like the way they look. I do. They're going to be helping us get through all of the cool stuff that we have going on today, because there's a lot more Magic the Gathering, another new god, 2 updates, 2 new gods. Don't get used to it, but it is happening right now, and we're super excited about it, so I mean, I'm pumped. Are y'all guys ready to get into it?
I can't wait. There's a lot of
So
really good
ready.
stuff in this patch. I mean, the next update in the Season of Monsters we knew was going to be really exciting, and
Turn them up, sure.
players are going to be really excited for it.
Oh yeah.
I agree. Well, let's dive right into it. As always, we have some balance to talk about to start, and we're going to start on the map. We're going to talk about Conquest and some of the changes that are happening there. So let's talk about the Titans. I hear they're getting just it looks like the change might have already happened. It's just a reminder, or explain.
Yeah, exactly. So this has actually been happening in all of your Conquest games. The Titans have had this cleave attack, this more AoE attack that has been on the map since 10.1, but it was just left out of patch notes. You might not have noticed because patch notes were still absolutely enormous and
Crazy.
15 hours long. But this has been happening, but now just more official. Now everyone knows
Yeah.
for sure.
The writing is on
That
the
is
wall
intended.
or on the blog, I guess. But yeah, so that is happening. So
That's nice.
please don't blame us. You saw how long.
Titan
the
would lose so
last
much
game was.
health with,
I
against
left
just
it
like
left
one
it.
fire
It
wave
was
because
great.
it took forever to
Anyways,
clear.
moving on. Fire Giant.
That's
not
actually good.
Surtur, not Surtur. Other one. The map one now. Fire Giant's having some changes. What's going on there?
Yeah, so with the Fire Giant in 10.1, we noticed how there were a little bit of difficulties placing certain abilities and
Yeah.
using them on the Fire Giant to confirm them. So we wanted to make sure that that was going to be a little bit easier for you guys. So now there is a spot in the center of the pit that is completely impassable, just acts like a wall, but it's going to make it a lot easier for you guys to place abilities there instead. So while you can't have that like very center of the circle to play around in, it'll make it a lot easier to actually use abilities. when
Hey,
the
it's
Fire
another
Giant
good
is there.
change.
So that's going to make
Because
it
you
a
weren't
little
able to
bit better,
crack
especially
it,
for warding
or like
as
even
well.
Ishtar
Your
won
wards aren't
the
gonna
Fire
get eaten
Giant.
up
It
either,
was too
'cause
close
you
to
can't
the
place
center.
wards and walls. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Exactly. All right. Well, cool. So the neighbor of the Fire Giant, the Pyromancer, looks like they might be showing up on the map just a little early, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So it has been Pyromancer spawning at 10 minutes now in
Yeah.
that right side mid-Harpy camp from the order side of the map. But we just felt like Solo Lane wanted to get involved a little bit sooner on the map than that 10-minute mark. You know,
Yeah.
there's plenty to do right now in Solo between the coup and the cooldown buff and the blue buff and the roaming Harpies and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of times you ended up just only staying in your 1v1 solo lane a little bit too long. Now with the Pyromancer spawning a little bit earlier at 7 minutes, we're hoping that teams will start to focus their attention a little bit more on that solo side
Got
a
it.
little bit earlier and allow the solo laner to rotate and be a little bit more impactful a little bit earlier in the match.
Makes sense. Yeah, that bomb is
So they make it
incredibly
easier so if you get
impactful.
Power
It's really
Bomb or
fun
just push
to
down.
learn
Well,
to use.
you shouldn't be able to get the
So
Power Bomb.
Super excited to see
Pyromancer
that
so
getting
easily.
unlocked a little earlier. So next up,
The
we
other
have
team
the
messed
mana
up, you know
camp
what I mean?
getting a few changes.
Yeah, so this is just a really small one. So in previous seasons, when the blue buff holder was really only one satyr, its kind of special power or ability was that it could summon little ghost minions. But now that the camp is always 3 little guys, there's no real reason to have that, really, because it's just more minions to kill. It becomes a
Yeah.
little bit swarmy, you know, if you're not hitting them, you're taking a lot of damage. So now we're just getting rid of that ability and making it that you'll only ever be fighting 3 things at once in the blue camp.
So no ghosts. All right,
No
cool.
ghosts.
No ghosts. Got it. All right, so next up, another change to a camp, the health camp, getting a little bit of touch up.
Yeah, green buff. I mean, we know that supports have to move a little bit out of their lane in order to get towards this green buff, and we want to encourage that type of play style.
Support buffs.
At the right time is a
Yeah.
big part of playing support in Smite. But we wanted to make it feel a little bit better and more worth your while to go and pick up this green buff. And
Got it.
supports historically, you know, we need to be wary of how much MP5 they are getting.
Bro, how much love do
Early
tanks
starter item, get it in
need?
their first item because they need to stay out on the map for a good amount of
Yeah,
time.
get those abilities
Need that
out, of
MP5.
course.
Now picking up the green buff will now provide you with 10 MP5 in order to help you spam those abilities a little bit more often on your rotations.
Got it. Looking for good engages, good picks. I love it.
Yep.
All right. And last but not least on the map, it looks like the totem, our brand new totem, is having a little bit of a maybe a shape down.
Yeah, this is really just, it was very large on release. And
Real
so
big.
it was
Real
hard to
big.
see through. It was a little bit difficult to see, who's winning because you kind of just have a lot more space to look at to kind of get those measurements. So it's actually going to just be smaller. The actual size around it, the hitbox, not changed at all.
Nope.
It's just the actual visual that you're looking at. It's just going to be a little bit smaller.
little
Just a
smaller.
little bit.
Fun fact, this does confirm that the totem is a pufferfish, and if you scare it, it will get big again, so be careful.
Yeah, don't be mean. It'll
Yeah,
get
just
bigger.
don't be mean. So that does it for the map. But of course, there are items to talk about. Now, I know
yeah.
there are.
There we go.
a
Let's
lot
get
of
to the
hot-ticket items,
juiciness.
and we'll get to some of those in just
Scarab
a second.
Nation,
but
thanks
we're
for the
starting
Prime,
off
man.
with a few nerfs, and specifically Druid Stone, the good old tier 1.
Yeah, so when looking at a lot of what the new tank item trees are building and,
Yeah.
into the stones, into the prophetic cloak, things like that, we just got the feedback that Druid Stone was a little bit too cost efficient for what it was giving, and
Got
Cloak
it.
1 was pretty weak in comparison. Felt like it was the right call to bring Druid Stone down in its cost effectiveness, so we'll just be going up in
Yeah,
price.
this is a shift.
That's the way for me to word that. Now going to be a little bit more expensive, from
It's gonna
600 to
cost more.
650. And then the tier 2 will be what gets the gold change. The tier 3 items in the Druidstone tree will remain exactly the same.
The same.
So it's just if you're buying tier 1, tier 2, you'll notice that it's a little bit more expensive. The overall cost of the item itself is going to stay the same.
Okay, got it. All right, well, good to know. And following that, Stone of Binding, also a bit of a nerf.
Yeah, so
So-
we were seeing this item a lot, right? And especially with the, change to that Stone of Binding to actually make it a tier 3.
Yep.
The way that we were noticing that this was getting picked up was in a lot of aggressive support builds. And we were just seeing several of these bought in
Yeah.
one game. And, when that sort of thing happens, then we're like, okay, we need to take a closer look into this. And so we did.
Good.
Overall, we noticed that it was doing, a bit too much in terms of really shredding people, especially with characters that had multiple ways to proc this. Taking the proc and making it kind of omnipresent as well made it a little bit more easy to apply, but dangerous at the same time, right? So
Yeah.
it feels so much better to use, but it was a little bit too strong, right? So we got to take back that debuff just a little bit so that when you
Small
buy
nerf.
it,
I
in
like
early
the small
game,
nerfs.
it's not doing as much.
I don't
It's
want
going
these
to
items to never
really
be built
based
again.
on
Just
how
want to
far in the game you are. So
be a little
again,
more
it's
balanced.
a little bit worse in the beginning, but again, the more levels that you have, the better it's going to be for you.
Yeah, we hear the community feedback.
small
that
nerf.
tank item damage is high.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be the only change that you see in that area, and this is just the easiest way to make sure that binding is worse throughout the game. I think it'll still be valuable on gods that use it well,
Yeah,
but
of course.
you've got to be a little bit more purposeful, and you won't be dealing quite as much damage losing the 5 protection debuff there.
Got it. All right. And like you said, we're being very intentional, trying to listen to the community, and one that everybody's been talking about because it's just been a real troublemaker, a real rugrat the last week or
Sure
so, if not
has.
more.
Yeah.
Rugrat.
Contagion. Obviously, there's a lot to go over here, so just please dive into it. What's the slap on the wrist for Contagion?
Wow.
Little more than a slap.
Yeah, I
we
was
hope,
gonna say.
for Contagion.
it's a prison
So
sentence.
first of all, losing 10 damage on each tick. So remember, this is ticking 5 times.
They
Losing
nerfed it
1 is
again?
Losing 50 damage, which is
Yeah.
obviously a lot. We really ran into a lot of issues where this item was able to be multi-stacked very
Yeah,
quickly,
it
where
was.
you could all of a sudden I have 2 Contagion procs on me, Lermy's got 2 Contagion procs on her. Now we're getting hit by 4 Contagion procs, back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
And it's going to stack up that damage really quickly. So we did make some changes in order to make it so that a player
That kind of looks like a dead item
do
besides
Contagion
the
or
stats on it
at a
and the
time.
anti-heal.
So if you have
But like for
debuff
the
on,
damage,
increasing damage,
it's definitely weak on
CC
the
the
damage
person with
again.
Contagion again. It should just refresh that to 5 seconds instead of adding a second stack.
I guess the
Contagion.
damage is just kind of nice to
We
have.
also changed the rate at which the ticks were dealing damage. So before, when you CC'd someone, you would
Yeah, it's still
instantly
it's still a
take
good
a
item,
tick of
just like
Contagion
the damage of
Yeah,
it
and
is
then it would
nerfed. Yeah.
pulse, so it would pulse at 0, 1, 2, 3,
Like as a
4.
defensive anti-heal
And
item,
it's
it's
5
very
seconds
good.
of pulsing, but it isn't super clear. Doesn't give you an opportunity to realize what's happening to you. So we did change it so that it's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of 0 through 4. So
Got
same
it.
amount of
Okay.
ticks, just giving you a little bit of extra time and more clarity there. We are still looking into some known issues here
Yeah.
on Contagion, just as a heads up to the community, where sometimes, especially on refreshed auras, you'll still hear you won't hear the audio pulse anymore.
Okay.
That's going out, and sometimes there will be an extra visual pulse. None of those are, we're dealing damage properly in all cases that we know of. If you find any bugs, please let us know. But we are aware of some visual and audio bugs that we're looking to clean up as soon as we can.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, again, as everybody knows, Contagion has really been this point of contention for the past week, 2 weeks. Time is blurry in a construct, but it's been a lot. But I know that y'all guys have been working on it. We hear all of y'all's feedback. We see all the hilarious plays that have been made out of 5 stacking those. And it was funny while it lasted, but definitely not intentional. So we're obviously keeping working on it, and keep letting us know as you see things with Contagion and with anything else, because that's how we learn and get things fixed.
Yep.
So cool. That was a massive block in this. Let's move on to Prophetic Cloak, also getting kind of a shifty nerf.
Yeah, so we've been seeing a lot of these items, and
Yes.
people have really been enjoying the little mini game of running around and
I
trading
love
procs.
It's
I
so
It's
good.
so much
inting
fun.
Charging it up,
man.
it's so good.
fun.
But we have noticed that this item is incredibly popular, incredibly strong. So we wanted to kind of give it a little bit of love, but also a little bit of saying, you know, you're maybe a little bit too good,
Yeah,
right?
just calm
So
down.
a lot of the contention around this item has been
this
how
it?
fast can you actually stack this item? And so, you know, before the item actually gets fully stacked, it's okay, right? It's not that good, but
Right.
once you get it fully stacked, then you're living the life, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So until that point, we wanted to make sure that it was a little bit easier to stack, but the rewards
Isn't
that
this-
you're getting for
isn't
stacking
this a buff,
just
or am I
not
dumb?
as much. So the actual changes that we've done here are decreasing the internal cooldown from 10 to 8, and what that's going to do is, again, making it easier, quicker to stack. But
Makes it quicker. Okay, so there's more.
we're also
Okay.
going to be changing the evolved
There's
version
more.
then
Okay.
to decrease its actual protections that it's giving you.
Right.
And so additionally, to clarify this, the intended change from the normal to the evolved version is to gain extra protections.
Correct.
However, now you're gaining significantly less, 15 less of each.
This is
Yep.
still
That's
kind of
overall
a buff,
30
bro. Making it
progress.
faster to
Yes.
stack is
A little bit easier to stack. So that is a,
Yeah.
a pretty
it's
significant
gonna be
change
stronger
in
for like
terms of
the
your
5
overall total
minutes that
protections.
it's
And remember,
faster to
gain
stack.
mitigation,
If
need
you
to
think
have
about
above
it.
a certain threshold of protection, so it's going to need even more protections from other items to actually make that part useful.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the big thing for Prophetic is we've seen that it is very, very strong in the right situations and in the right player's hands. But if a player doesn't stack it well, then they're going to end up seeing it be significantly less effective. So making it a little bit easier and more consistent to stack. We still want it to be difficult. We still want it to be something that is a conscious choice that you're making around
Yeah.
the map. For an item effect this powerful, it needs to work.
I
with playstyle
personally
a little
don't
bit.
mind tank
We
items
are-
that
at
make
least
you tanky.
I
don't mind them
happy
being
with the
strong.
gameplay style that it
I just hate
encourages,
hybrid
making
items, but they
them
got rid of
aggressive,
a lot of that,
getting
like
up
Stone
in
and
your enemy's
Binding, stuff
face,
like that.
playing to
Those are the
stack it
items
in a
that I
very
hate.
unique way. I think
Yeah.
that loop has been very successful.
A tanky item that makes you
but the
tanky but
top
doesn't
end
give you
is clearly
damage.
a little bit too strong.
I
So
don't really
we're
care
gonna
if
be
it's
keeping a
strong
very
or
close
not.
eye on Prophetic.
Yeah.
You know, we know that passive is very strong. We know the mitigation interactions are very strong, and we've got some more things on,
Yeah,
on
we're getting there, don't
mitigation to
worry.
go. So this is not the only thing, but we think that this is a good way to make it a little bit easier to get to the more fun part, and then making sure
I
that
don't
the
think
more fun
Maui
part of
needs
the
a
evolved
buff.
item isn't quite
Busted.
strong.
Yeah. And again, it's all about getting this item a conscious effort instead of, I'll pick it up because it's the best item in the game and it just needs to be a part of every build. Like, it's still viable, but it has to be part of a conscious build. So
Yep.
I think that's a good goal. So next up, Sigil of the Old Guard, having a couple things changed about it as well.
Yeah, mitigation. Remember
Mitigation.
the thing I
Yeah,
was
we,
just saying
just
like
we've
talked
been
2
about
seconds
it.
watching
ago?
that so
Yeah.
closely.
Yeah, look, we've been on top of this mitigation build for sure. I
On
mean,
top of it.
we had a lot of discussion about this mitigation build and what it does and its impact and all that kind of stuff, and we do clearly think that it was a little stronger than we had
Hold up, it
intended.
was healing you for how
Prophetic
many?
is obviously
How
a huge part
much
of that,
percentage of your
but
max health?
Sigil is for
What
just
the hell?
one item slot going to provide so much.
I didn't even
damage
know it
mitigation
healed
and
you.
so much sustain that we felt like this was kind of
That's actually
flying under
insane.
the radar potentially in some players' eyes
Yeah.
as
3%
big
of your max
core
HP.
more so than a slow
Per
item that
stack? How
takes
many
a long
stacks was
time, and
there?
certain gods do
Sheesh.
well and certain gods don't.
Yeah.
It's a
Sigil is
beef-
just, if you get
beefy
the 20
item.
and slam this upgrade, your tankiness just skyrockets.
next level.
You know, shoots through the roof without any type of
The stacks
real
4
conscious
times.
decision-making during the game.
So
if
it
you
healed you
decrease the base
12% of
mitigation
your
by
max
2%, and then
HP?
a mitigation per stack,
Huh?
1%, and you can get up to
That is so
3% of,
broken.
that damage mitigation. So it's overall losing 5% damage mitigation.
Got it.
5% might not seem like a ton, but it will make a big difference in terms of how much damage you're actually dealing to these targets. And then also
The healing's gotta be
healing
the
that was
OP
built into
part,
this,
bro.
I think was really
It's max
not
volume,
on
basically.
its face the most powerful
you know?
thing this item was doing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have any type of internal cooldown. So if I get hit by 3 abilities,
You turn it up over
I'm
here.
getting healed for 3% pretty much instantly from
right off
each
the
of
top.
those.
Heal it up artificially.
And that's very, very strong. Players
Do a
aren't really
mixer.
understanding that they need to potentially build anti-heal against Sigil users. We don't want that knowledge barrier to be the success gate of the item.
Yeah.
So I think that
Bro, that's
It's-
crazy. That item
we're
is
happy
so
that
busted.
Sigil is stronger than it has been in
Finally.
the past. Finally, it's been how long
At
that for people to start buying Sigil. It needed some sort of sustain in order to get it there, we think. We don't want its primary identity is not as a sustain item.
Yeah.
We don't
Yes,
want this to be an item that you
exactly.
need to build anti-heal against, or
yeah.
you're being shut down. So we think that between 5% mitigation off and a significant heal cut, Sigil should be a lot more manageable to play against.
Awesome. Well, yeah, sounds like a lot, but again, tanks came out of the gate really roaring
Pretty good.
10-1, so we're just trying to bring things back in line a little. So moving down, Berserker Shield looks like some of the passive just being nerfed a little bit.
Yeah, and again, another mitigation item.
Another
But one thing that you'll
mitigation.
notice about the two things that we just had on our list that we talked
Wait,
about
Berserker
were
still had
they're late game
mitigation?
items.
Yes.
They're items that you don't see until like
Bro, I really
level
gotta read
20
the
or
items.
so.
Yep.
So we wanted to make sure that we were also covering our bases a little bit towards the early game, especially for those,
Yeah,
arena
the
players
items
or
they're
just
nerfing
players
King,
that get to this
people
point
got
a
'em
lot
every
faster
game.
than you would in Conquest.
Yeah.
This is one of those items that you will just slam into a build if you're able to, because it's just going to keep you alive in a
Yep.
lot of situations that you would almost always die in. So I feel like, because we've gone to take a little bit off of here, 5% on that passive, it's going to at least even out that curve quite a bit and make sure that, again, the top end, when you combine it with all those other things, is not as insane as it was before.
In total, for the mitigation build that everyone's running, Sigil, Berserkers, Prophetic,
Oni Hunters, yeah.
Spirit, all of that, you are losing 10% damage mitigation and
Whew.
30 prots across the entire build.
Yeah.
A very significant nerf.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to be keeping our eye on it. We want to make sure that is not going to be this big frustration point for the community, these super tanky guardians and warriors and things like that. But we do think that it's good that these tanks can feel tanky late, as long as they aren't also dealing too much damage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
That's
think
the
that
line.
there is a middle ground that we can find there. It's going to take some tuning, for sure. I don't know that who knows when we'll be able to hit it, but I'm feeling optimistic that late game tanks can feel tankier than they have in seasons past, while not raising their threat level a whole lot and making it feel more fair to play
These are good
as and play
nerfs.
against.
I think these
Yeah,
are good
honestly,
nerfs.
that's kind of the tank dream. Dealing damage is fun, but as a Guardian player, I like
There's a
that I
lot
don't
of
die
damage
quickly so
in the
that I
back
can get in
line,
there
bro.
and
I
be
feel like the
disruptive
tanks
so that I
need
can
to
protect
Exactly.
my
be
laners
tanky. Like
or
they need
disrupt
mitigation,
theirs.
just
So,
not as much as they
looking
had.
forward to that.
So
But
I like it.
this game has been around for 10 years, and would you imagine
They need to find a sweet
that
spot.
does not solve problems? You really got to sit down. It's math. It's a lot of math. It's horrifying. So, but
Yeah.
y'all, I know y'all will keep at it. So next up, Crusher, another kind of shift nerf going into Crusher.
Yeah, Crusher, we just felt like, we're happy with the change to make it more late game oriented than early
Yeah.
game oriented. It feels a little bit more smooth in the early game to just, you don't have to have this big drenched in sweat moment where it's between Jotuns and Brawlers and Crusher and, new Shadow Drinker and all that kind of stuff. We like its new late game identity.
Yeah.
It is pretty, Assassins in general have been very strong.
Yeah, they have.
And we have definitely been
True.
seeing a lot of feedback and stats about that. But this items did feel very prohibitively expensive at times. So we wanted to bring down the cost, but also bring down its actual numbers and effectiveness. So just a
I
little
like
bit of
this
power off.
change.
And the big thing, of course, is losing some scaling on the passive. But still think that with its competitive stat line and just
I think
making
it's a
sure that
solid
you're doing
change to
maximum
Crusher.
damage with their abilities come late.
It was
Crusher
too
will still have
expensive.
a pretty solid spot.
Awesome. So we have one more big nerf to talk about, and that's Heartseeker, also getting nerfed.
Yeah, so again, Assassins, very
Good.
strong right now.
Very
Currently,
strong.
really good. If you're jungler, you're probably having a great time. Everybody else?
What a
Ooh,
surprise.
not
Who
so
would have guessed that
much.
jungle is good? Like
It's
every
crazy.
patch ever?
Unbelievable.
Something like that.
Anyway, though, one thing that we want to talk about here is between Heartseeker and Crusher, they're both items that have big bonus damage procs,
Yes.
right? And so one thing that we were noticing between these two items and Bluestone is that you are just trying to grab as many proc items as you can and blow someone up instantly, which for squishies, not very fun. I'm not gonna lie, not the most fun gameplay to
Not
play
enjoyable.
against. And so to deal with that, we are going to decrease the damage that you're dealing against low max HP targets. So that's your squishies, right?
Yep.
From 3% to 2%. But again, it will still scale to 6% for high
Very
max
small
HP
nerf.
targets. So your tanks, you're still going to be doing a lot of damage to them. But squishies, just not as much damage against them. So overall, trying to make sure that you're not blowing up the squishies right away with your Crusher, Heartseeker, Bluestone, whatever it is, procs.
They
but
probably still will.
Yeah.
They've got.
they'll
a lot.
still take a
Little
lot
bit.
of damage. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but you're not gonna be.
Honestly, I feel like
per se.
Yeah, don't try to face tank as a squishy, but like you
No.
know, if you're trying
like
to
a big
dodge,
issue is the
odds are
Bluestone,
you'll be a
bro.
little better off. So.
Exactly.
Bluestone
Cool,
Brooch,
cool.
man.
So that does it for
that
nerfs,
item.
but there are buffs to the item scale as
Woo.
well. So let's get into some
Love
of
those.
those. Starting with Horn Shard, looks like a little bit of a fix almost.
Yeah, really just a text fix.
Just a text fix, okay.
This item
I like
has,
Brooch is the
since
real
its launch in
culprit.
10.1, been doubly as effective as described.
It's so nice, though. Crusher and Heartseeker being nerfed is nice, though.
Every,
It adds up when they nerf them
every
both.
second for 3
Yeah.
seconds.
Slightly.
It's been a full second. So it's really been 0.5, to be more specific, it's been 0.5 every 0.5 instead of every second, which is what it was initially listed as.
Got it.
So now the description will be more accurate. It's not going to be any different than what you've been playing with. It's just the same amount of strength. We discussed making it match the description, but no one, everyone's been playing with it
Yeah.
and feeling like it's okay, but not the strongest. People think it's okay as is.
Yeah.
Why
I think
is
it.
Really?
Why mess
I
with
like
it?
this. I like that. I think
Excited
Horn
to
Shard's
see
cool
how
the
much
way it
this
is.
changes perception.
Yeah, I was about to say this
I
is
wonder
the,
what it's going to do to its pick rate.
it's a perception buff. So
exactly.
interested to
In
see.
every
I-
sense of the word.
Well, if you see
I
it
like
getting
the
nerfed to
shards being
bonus,
strong
then
because
wow,
they only last 3
So
seconds.
next up, Kinsai,
I like them
also
being
getting
strong.
a buff.
Yes, we've heard you loud and clear, hunters.
Our
We know that
only
it's
item.
very difficult to deal with tanks, and so hopefully
Sheesh,
we're
that's
going to
a
give you a little
buff.
bit of help here with some Chinsai buff with 5% more attack speed. And we're
Yikes,
also
bro. That
increasing
is a
bonus damage
big
against
buff,
those
bro.
tanky targets that are a little bit tougher to chew through this time around. So
Yes.
giving you a little bit of help there because
The 6% is a
we see it.
big buff,
Yes.
bro.
We see it. Next up, the mysterious boomerang.
Sheesh.
How do they work? The bladed boomerang specifically getting a buff, being a little stronger, I guess. So yeah, get into it.
Yeah, just wanted to make this item a little bit
That item
better
is
in the earlier stages of the game.
I'm not gonna say the word
so
broken,
decreased
but that
cost,
item's very
increased
good.
attack speed. But the big one here, I think, is making those deployables, those boomerangs coming back to you,
Yeah.
more easy to pick up.
Okay.
So they should be, without bogging everyone down with all the numbers, it should be roughly 50% closer to you when it drops. It's still a random
That's a lot.
angle in which it could come out.
Yeah.
And then the distance is controlled. So it should be a little less wide, the cone, and it should be spawning a little bit closer to you. So just easier to keep that buff uptime, because we really think that for our players who can maintain their focus of hitting their autos and picking up the boomerangs all at the same time,
Yeah.
you can stack a very potent buff and become a very strong duelist with this item. This can be a really strong dueling item in lane,
Yeah.
but it needs to be a little bit more consistent and easier to execute on.
This item, if you pick up all the stacks, is basically a full. Pick up all the boomerangs. It's like a fully stacked rage with attack speed on it.
Yeah.
Like actually
to
insane.
go
It's actually an
and
insane item
enhance
if you
their
get all
boxing
the
potential in lane.
boomies.
And then have that chin size buff there in order to help deal damage to tanks. If you want to split your crit and chins build, you can do so if you want to.
Got it. All right. Well, sounds good. A little easier to catch a boomerang.
Yep.
I remember having one of those as a kid. It never came back.
I don't
so,
think they see it.
shout
That's a
out-
stick.
Yeah. Well, no, it was like all right. It was like a Cracker Barrel boomerang. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's go to Chronos Pendant. So the bling getting a little bit of a buff.
Yeah, so we've been seeing a lot of interesting mage builds coming, especially with Tablet of
True.
Destinies, getting a bit of a buff as well. But we've been seeing a lot of these like proc items and not so much of these other like more core items. So instead of really
Well, the item's
pushing
not
people
good
away
if
from
you
those
don't
items
get the
in particular, we
boomies.
want to try and see
That's
what
the
giving them
thing.
more options looks
Yeah.
like, to see if they would like to rather purchase something else instead. So Chronos Pendant is one of those items that's incredibly core for a lot of players in Smite, that they just
True.
really love this
They love
item, love the passive, just think it's incredibly fun. So we want to
is.
see,
It is.
if we give it a little bit of a bump in power, is it going to compete with these other items? Will we actually see it being built? I really hope so, because I think this item is really, really fun, and it would be awesome to get more of them.
Yeah, mages
This patch been very good.
become more of a topic of conversation over the last
So
few
far.
days than
Yeah.
than when we initially wrote the patch notes. So we'll definitely be
We're keeping an eye.
we're keeping an eye on mages and what their build path looks like and all that kind of stuff. But for now, hopefully Chronos Pendant can tempt some people to change up the build order and the build path in general.
Got it. Awesome. Hey, always good to see some diversity in the build path. Next up, the Brawler's Beat Stick getting a little bit of a buff as well, it looks like.
Yeah, this one, all the anti-heal items got new passives and
Yeah.
subsequently
lot.
cost changes in 10.1. Brawlers, we've heard the
Ooh,
feedback that
this a big
passive
buff to this
addition
item.
didn't feel strong enough to warrant the cost increase that it got. It became pretty expensive. So we're kind of doing a little bit of both, where we are decreasing the cost by 100 gold.
This item's
and
definitely
also
pretty good.
increasing the actual
Solid.
new component
Okay.
of this item at the same time. So
Yeah.
now the zone where you gain power after you kill someone is going from 10 to 20 power, so it should be a stronger area in which to fight, and also fix the text to let you know exactly how long that buff field lasts.
Got it. Awesome. So this just started.
Brawlers are just
burning
a
hole in
solid
my
item.
chest. I didn't
Good
mention
item.
the update notes are live right now because we were talking about a lot of numbers and percentages. So if you want to follow along, make sure to go check that out.
Yeah.
A lot of you already know that because you're smart and well informed, but I have to say it because I work hard on those. So I work hard on it's a joint effort. So I just make sure it tries to look nice. So anyway, those are live now. Make sure to check it out. But anyway, looks like we're kind of climbing up the item tree back to a tier 1 with the cloak getting a little bit of a buff.
Yeah, so these next few are going to be about the supports and
Yes.
even some solo laners, some items coming up. But we talked about
Supports,
this a little bit
man.
earlier with Cloak. This tier 1 compared to the Stone tier 1, just not really on the
Didn't
same
balance
page.
out.
A little
No.
bit of stat discrepancy there. So this is kind of the opposite of what we did with the Stone, where we're decreasing the tier 1 cost, increasing the tier 2 cost, but the ultimate tier 3 cost of everything else is going to stay the same.
Yep.
So it's really just making the tier 1 a little bit cheaper to compensate for its worse stats in comparison to the Stone.
Sure, you got to pull one back, push one forward, and then hope that they meet somewhere in the middle. So
Yep.
awesome. Well, continuing down the line, we have Cannoneers Cuirass. Cuirass?
Sure. Yeah,
Sure.
One of those.
I still have not nailed down how to pronounce that.
So, yeah,
I'm
it's
the one
getting-
who wrote
it's-
it initially.
The Cannon Dude shirt is getting
Yeah,
buffed. so-
Cannoneers is what I call it for
Ooh,
shorthand.
that's a
yeah,
big
so just a
buff.
cost decrease. You know, this
150
item
gold?
has
That's a
certainly been
big
overshadowed
decrease.
by
That's like a whole
the,
wave early.
Prophetic Rush
Yeah.
and Thebes still being a very strong option to start. We want to see
150 gold is like
if
a wave and a
just making
half
This a very cheap starting
the early
option
game.
for supports allows them to
They can back earlier for it.
influence other people's gold gains.
Yeah.
You know, make sure that them coming to split your wave feels less like a negative and more like a, oh nice, I got 25 extra
Let's
gold.
go.
Yeah.
For each wave. So we'll see how this plays out with just a nice little cost decrease.
This is a big cost decrease, I would say.
Yeah, that's true.
150.
It's a-
150, especially for a first item, like
That's true.
150
big-
gold is not
it's a-
created equally between a 6 item and a,
Yeah,
and a
and
first
a
item.
Yes, it's
So
a
first
big.
item
It's
is
like
where
it's like a
really
wave and a half early.
So this is we think that this will be pretty impactful.
Awesome. Well, I'll be excited to see it popping up as a first item in some builds, hopefully.
Here's hoping.
So next up, Dawnbringer. The dawn is brought a little brighter. I guess, I don't know. It's getting a buff, too. I'm trying to be funny.
Yeah, this is another item that we were hoping to see a little bit more of, and so again, we.
I gotta lie, I don't know what this
our
item
stats.
does.
Not good. No,
200
pretty good.
gold
Is Fast not
decrease.
good? No, it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Everything else
Cost.
though, the cost, maybe a little bit
Expensive.
prohibitive.
Yeah.
A little too expensive
too
for the
much
builds.
dollars.
So we're gonna be taking it down 200 gold, which again, a lot.
That's
So
a
I'd
lot.
love to be seeing a little bit more of these. We want to really know if this is gonna make Dawnbringer one of those really fun items that you engage a team fight with, and then you get to go fast. I mean, that sounds
There
pretty
he comes
fun.
after
That does
ult is
sound fun.
finished.
It has really
Gotcha.
cool item art, so, not opposed to seeing it around
10 out of
anyway.
10.
It's
just
pretty.
That's
really
a
good
big
looking.
cost
next up,
decrease.
Absolution also
Jesus.
getting a buff.
Yeah, a lot of you might notice that people might have gotten scared when we said this is the section for buffing supports and warriors,
Yeah.
but all very defensive oriented
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Absolution is gaining a little bit more magical protection and some more CCR. This item
50
has a
Dawnbringer
very
gives 50 power, 20% CCR,
potentially
300 health,
impactful
and passive gives you
passive,
5%
but
increased
it is not
protections when you
always
alt.
the easiest
That
to
stacks on
apply
the
in the
enemy
right
series.
moment.
Oh, interesting.
We don't think
It's like a
that
good
this item
engage. Like if you're
will
engaging, like Ares alt or
necessarily
something,
be
like you blink
core
Ares. You know how
in all
everyone's like,
builds all
don't
the
blink
time,
Ares alt
but we
in the
want it
late
to
game
be an
because you just
item that
die.
when
I guess if you have
realize, oh,
Dawnbringer.
they have an
Well, obviously it has
Ares
physical
or,
power, right? So
you
it
know,
can't
a
be
Nox
Ares.
combo or
But like I don't know,
something.
any
I
like
can use this
Fizz
passive in order to cleanse my teammate out of these very
engage,
impactful
even like an
CCs.
Erlang blink
That you're
taunt,
feeling
some shit
good
like
about
that.
buying it at the same time. That it isn't just I have to.
Yeah, I got
It's
it.
that I
That could be
get
pretty
to.
good. Nike
You know
alt,
what I
yeah,
mean?
Thor
So,
alt, yeah.
uh,
Oh, that's
hopefully
interesting.
Absolution gets a little bit more play after that.
Cool. Awesome. And so we
What
are
about
down
Shins?
to
You
one
think we'll
more
see
buff in
less
the item
crit with
tree,
more buff
and that's
Shins?
Phalanx.
Shins has
getting
nothing to
buffed.
do with crit.
Yeah,
How
Phalanx
much
has
crit
been a
you
really
get, Myth?
interesting case because
You always
the
get
buff
Shins
that it
and
can
crit
provide
in
to
the same
minions
build.
is really strong.
good.
Strong.
The item itself, maybe not so much.
Sure.
So to compensate for that, we're going to be giving it 5 more physical protections to make it even better in lane against your physical compatriots over in the solo lane, or if you're playing against a double physical duo lane, maybe an option there as well.
True.
And then giving it an extra 50 health. So that'll just keep you a little bit healthier, a little bit more protected, and hopefully protect your minions as well.
Awesome. Well, that does it for the items. So that was cool. Lots of good changes, trying to bring Contagion back into the realm of like not being every other Twitter post on the timeline. So lots of good stuff. Again, as we get into PTS and 10.2, let us know what y'all see. But that's not all for balance. We have gods we got to get into.
We got more.
And yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. So how about Ao Kwong? Looks like a little bit of a nerf.
Yeah, it's the era
Good.
of Ao Kwong buffs has officially come to a close.
Yeah, this is the stop.
Everyone realizing that Ao Kwong on the new map with some new items, feeling very impactful.
Yeah.
Just walking back, one of the more recent changes that we've done on Wild Storm increased its scaling not too long ago. Now bringing it back, still has all those other buffs to try and get him in the right zone where before he went from like basically unplayed to one of the top bans in ranks.
Yeah, that was crazy to see, by
That
the
was
way. Just
very
the
quickly.
change between 9-12 to 10-1 ban rate, Ao Kwong going from like actually the bottom to #1 banned in all of ranked. That was crazy to see.
Yeah, that really does not happen very often.
No,
that
not
isn't
at
like
all.
a new god being released into ranked for the first time. So we're going to be keeping our eye on
Gun
Ao Kwong,
show,
but
oh
we
my
think
God.
this will do a good amount to bring him back to a more acceptable state.
Yeah, bring it back to that happy medium.
Yep.
So cool. Next up, Hebo also getting a nerf.
Yeah, this is just another one of those magical junglers that you see
Good.
often where,
Let this god
especially in
die.
this
Let
new
Hebo
interesting meta
die.
Where it's a lot of grouping
Please.
things up. Hubwai does very good at clearing a lot of things very quickly because he's got such a low cooldown on his abilities. And Water Spout was one of those ones that's like you're poking from pretty far away, you're
Yeah.
doing a lot of damage with it, you're clearing really well
Bro,
with
Bear,
it.
he
What
doesn't
don't you
deserve
do
to
with
live.
his
Hibo's
ability,
too
So
broken.
it's got to come down a little bit,
His-
taking that base damage
His kid
down
is
to help
too
with clear,
busted
taking the scaling down a
to
bit
let
to help
live.
with the poke altogether. A little bit worse for our little water guy.
Our little water guy, shout out. All right, so Discordia coming up next, actually getting a buff. Discordia getting a little stronger.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what this does to Disco. I mean, this is a god that's always been like good but
So
not
close.
great.
Yeah,
Really, really
yeah,
close
right on
to
the
being
edge.
good.
This might be the one. The cooldown on the 3, that's your survivability.
Yeah.
Going from 15 to 13 at all ranks is a very big deal. And then
Oh,
the
yeah.
ultimate
They're
just
buffing
didn't
Disco.
quite hit hard enough,
Nah.
especially on that initial hit. Being so back.
That all hits hard.
Having
What?
the majority of the damage come from the explosion rather than the initial hit
Yeah.
has made this
No
ability feel
way
really
this
unique to
goddess
play
needed a
against
buff.
And has a good differentiator between it and a lot of other burst damage mage ultimates, which we
Yeah.
really like.
I
But it
thought
could use
Disco
a
was
little
very
bit more on that
balanced.
front.
I thought
So
Disco was very
just
balanced.
A good amount of scaling on that. 10% is
I don't
pretty
think she
solid,
needed
and just a
anything.
little bit of base damage as well.
I thought she was a
and
very
I think
balanced
that-
god.
I'm going to be playing some Discordia.
Yeah,
come next week,
Discordia is
let me
going
tell
to
you
be
that.
Really
the
excited.
playtime's going up now.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, next up we have Geb also getting a buff.
Oh, poor little Gib.
Poor little,
Poor little Geb.
Poor little rock
Just
friend.
one of the lowest clear guardians in our roster.
Oh, yeah.
By quite a large margin, I might argue. So he's getting a little bit of help there. To where his cooldown is going to be a little bit
Sheesh.
lower, so you can slam the wave a little bit more often, and you're doing. A
He
bit
can
more
maybe
damage to it.
insta-clear.
So, hopefully he will
Gets
be able
level
to
2 off the
participate
start
fully
and
in
rolls
Crazy
into the
Jinx.
lane and then chews the whole wave too.
He is the
His
Earth,
roll-
but
Yeah, it's like, good luck
Yeah.
clearing
Plus
this
his
wave.
2.
I'm,
That's
I'm
pretty
outta
good
here.
clear.
Later.
Yeah.
Cool. All
That's
right,
pretty
so
good clear.
Tsukuyomi also riding the buff train, it looks like.
Yeah, just needing a little bit more damage, for a meta that seems to really favor ability-focused assassins.
Yeah.
If Tsukuyomi isn't up there, that's probably an indicator that it isn't anything else holding him back besides his own individual damage numbers. So we went pretty light. We know how easily it can be tipped over the scales for Tsukuyomi.
True.
But really
Good.
wanted to reward those
Light
players who are
buff, okay.
particularly accurate with
This
the
god,
ultimate
this god's
and
caltrops,
with the
his
one.
3
So one
is
Dark Moon
so
Shuriken
annoying
gets 10
late
base
game.
damage helps us clear as well. And then the scaling per dash hit.
This
goes
is a
up by
great patch
5%.
before the
So
play-ins, I
that's
must say.
potentially a 20% scaling buff if you hit all 4 beams on the same target. That
Yeah,
you'll
if
dash
you're
on them 4
landing it.
times. So this it'll be pretty substantial, I think, if you're piloting Tsukuyomi well.
yeah,
Awesome,
Gotta
yeah.
be hitting him though.
Got to be hitting them.
Gotta be hitting them. I mean, as somebody who doesn't play a ton of assassins, that ult is still just so fun to use. Even if you hit
Oh, you
one
don't play on
person,
this
you're like,
patch?
Got him.
Oh, because
Yep.
people would have complained that you didn't have
Cool.
enough time to
Jingwei
practice,
also seeing
right?
a bit of a buff here.
Yeah, this is another one of our low pressure dual lane gods.
Ooh,
who's getting a little bit of love here,
Jingwei
just for
buff.
Clear, really. So what we're doing is increasing the damage per tick. So this is not the initial hit. It's for anything sitting in it. So it's not
I
really
like
gonna
Jingwei.
be
Jingwei is
gods.
one of
That's
my
mostly
favorite
minions
gods
that
to
are
play.
sitting in the persistent gust. So
Yeah.
that damage is going up a bit. That's going to help her clear as long as you're keeping the minions inside of the
But
gust.
I don't know if this is
And
going to
then
do
taking
much.
That cooldown to actually lower it the more you rank it. So for those who are maxing it first, which
I don't know if this will do
Jingwei,
much, but
I hope so.
you're going to have that extra 2 seconds once you get to that rank 5 moment, and it's going to feel really good.
Nice, awesome.
It's gonna help transition her a little bit.
Yeah, kind of bring them back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, which I guess is good for Jingwei because the flying.
We'll just
thing.
have to
so
play
one
and
more
see.
buff on our god list here. We have Chernobog also getting a buff.
Don't buff this
We've
god.
seen come
This
in and out
god's
of the
so
meta fairly
lame.
frequently at,
Back and
at a
forth,
high
yeah.
level in particular, but we just felt like the
His
mana
alt's
costs
so
on his kit
broken.
in general a little bit too high. This is a god that sometimes felt like you were forced to be building Transcendence, but he's not really a traditional
He's not really.
ability hunter that like
Yeah,
wants to be
not
building
exactly.
Transcendence. It's still good on him, but in general felt like he was maybe a little bit too reliant on the MP5 and the mana that it was providing. So just clean mana cost decreases on a couple things, and then in particular the dash cooldown still scaling to the same point. We know that his late game is particularly strong.
Yeah.
You know, because you can use your dash, get up in your ultimate, fly down, have your dash ready to go again. We didn't want to bring that bottom end.
Honestly,
or
Cherno's
that-
probably really good in the
max
current
rank
meta.
cooldown down
This
a whole
doesn't
lot
get
more.
played.
Yeah.
So that's
Because
saying
you could
the
just
same as
avoid
just
tanks
instead of
altogether.
18
Once the
to
enemy tanks try to
16,
engage,
14, making
you
him
could
a
just
little bit
dive the
safer.
backline with a full crit build and just
Cool,
one-shot the
awesome.
squishies.
Well, that does it for our balance for this time around. So a lot of good things coming, a lot of changes down the pipeline. So again, you'll be able to test these out in PTS and see them in live next week, something that I've always enjoyed
That's so
saying ever
fun.
since we started changing that. So
Yep.
beautiful to hear. But yeah, that does it for balance. And now we got some news to talk about. So let's
News
talk
time.
about some news. Starting off with some merch news. So for those of you that don't know, Ymir is here. And if you went to SWC, you'd have known that this beautiful little fella right here, the little Ymir plushie, is still on sale. So if you want to get them, make sure to check them out before they are gone because they are super adorable. And yes, I love
Oh.
that picture
That's such a great
so
That's
much.
so cute.
So that it is absolutely incredible. What a great memory. What a great little plushie. So make sure to pick it up if you get the chance. He is my boy. He's just going to chill with me now. So we also have the VVGG hoodies. If you hadn't seen one of those, they were also on sale at SWC and are on sale online. They're just really cool hoodies. They have the VVGG on the back, Smite right there on the
That's
front.
pretty
They're
cool.
actually incredible. I work for the company, and I was like, I'm going to let fans buy these before I try to get one at SWC, and I couldn't even get one because, yeah, they're that awesome. So it's one of those things where you put it on, then your friend sees it, then they buy it, and then it's a whole chain domino effect thing because it's a really great hoodie. So pick it up. I would highly recommend it. I
like
would be
that
doing
design.
myself. So moving on, we have some SPL news, which always feels cool talking about after seeing SWC photos. So there's a promotion tournament next week, so make sure to get on that. But the big point here is February 22nd, which is actually really, really close, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very close. So we have the play-in tournament for the SPL. Get hype. This is incredible. So many things. There are 10 competing teams, as you can see here on the screen.
Oh, it's
A
1
double
week from
elimination
today.
bracket. The top 2 teams are qualifying
Holy.
for SPL. So really, we got to look at those teams. You
I
gotta
haven't
start
gotten your
rooting for 'em
Leviathans
'cause they're
jersey
gonna
that I
need
wore in
you to
September.
cheer
That's
them
so lame,
all the
Caden.
way
What
into
the
the
hell?
SPL. The broadcast will begin at 11 a.m.
No, it's a good
ET,
game, Mad
where
Dog.
You'll always watch your broadcasts at a Smite
Good game.
on Twitch. So super awesome for y'all to watch.
I'm hyped for this
just get
tourney,
excited
too.
for it because that is going to be a really, really.
I think it's
incredible
anyone's game, bro. It's a
tournament. There's gonna be
brand
lot
new
of talent
season, the
going on
brand
over
new
that
map, brand new
4-day
everything.
period, 22nd through 26th.
Anyone can win.
So again, make sure you're ready for it because it is going to be hype. It's one of those glue yourself to your seat and like stare. You might want to get some of the like glasses that block out blue lights. Your eyes don't shrivel up like raisins. But cool. Anyway, so that does it for our news. We have some cool cosmetics to talk about and some events coming up in 10.2, starting with, and this is very interesting. This is super new. Something that we're calling the Mythical Market. So the
That sounds fun.
It's very fun. It's very, very fun. So the Mythical Market is something we've never done before, and it's a new store opening that's going to have an individual twist for each different person that looks at it. So there's a lot of text on the screen. Again, this is all on the patch notes if you want to go read that as well.
I wish they would do the new god after this, so
what this
I don't have to
is
sit
there
through
will
skins
be
and
a
whatever this is.
bundle that everybody gets to see, and it's going to have some very fun bee-themed things. We have a Jingwei skin, which we'll show you all in just a second, as well as an avatar and a fountain skin. But this will also have a very cool bundle that is specifically
New God's
designed
a
for
hunter,
each
yeah.
different person looking at it. So as you look at your bundle, you will see something.
Yeah,
that,
they're gonna do skins
in
before the
theory,
god
will
too.
reflect a character
They want
you
you
like
to sit through
play
the whole
or a
thing.
role
I
you
mean, it's
like
good
to
for
play,
them,
and give you an
not for
option
me,
of
though.
some new cosmetic items for that. And we have a screenshot of what the market should look like. But again, it will be It will have a bundle specified to who you are as a Smite player, and you'll also have the skin, so you get a little preview of what the bee skin looks like, and we'll be showing you all that
Hold
in
on.
a second in some greater detail.
Bumblebee
But,
Jingwei skin,
not
and they
only will you
just
have that
buffed
bundle, but
Jingwei.
it will also be steeply discounted for you, because this is your mythical market designed to catch your eyes. So this is a limited event. You'll see it on the home screen in 10.2, but this is limited. So if you see it, make sure to check it out before it's gone, because all things that are good do not last forever. So again, watch out for the mythical market coming with 10.2. But I mean, y'all just saw a preview of the skin, and I think it's time that we show y'all what that skin looks like, and that would be Bumblebee Jingwei.
Oh,
So-
my goodness.
So adorable.
Look at the little bees. Okay, I guess they're not little.
Yeah,
they're pretty big.
Yeah, they're pretty
Chonky.
big.
They're
Some chonky bees.
chonky.
Are those like, you know, the whole thing, like bees aren't they, by all laws of nature, bees shouldn't be able to fly. Like, I don't even know if that's true, number one. Number two, I know these things shouldn't be able to fly. Like,
No.
the wing to body ratio is just, there's no way.
It's a little skewed, but they are super, super adorable. So, ooh, and here's our
Oh.
new turnarounds. So we have a brand new turnaround.
this is
I
nice.
love them. All the cinematic angles.
Yeah, very cool. And it's
Look
looking
at-
great.
Yeah, look at the design. All right, her wings look a little small for flight too. So
Maybe a little.
She makes it work.
The weapon
I mean,
looks
she'll-
good.
She'll figure it
It's
out.
so stylish, though. I love the like puffer jacket.
yeah,
No
it
doubt.
is really stylish.
That is a sick puffer jacket. I would wear that for sure.
True. About to caught me the bee puffer jacket.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear a voice line.
What's all the buzz about?
The buzz. I get it. Cool.
I don't know if that was that funny, not gonna lie.
All right, so we figure such a cool skin. Might as well see it in game real quick. You know, part of the mythical market event, a brand new event, a cool new skin. So let's just see what these. Hi. Let's see what these abilities look like.
This'll help.
Oh,
Jeez, the new chin
it's
size.
It's got to
Yeah.
have a little honeycomb action there for the one.
Yeah, do another auto attack.
Still looks awesome.
A little
It
globs of
does. I
honey.
love all the bee
Yep.
theming.
Oh, that's great. Oh, and the buff.
Oh yeah, I
want
want to see the boomerang.
That's really cute. Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
Come on, do more
See, she doesn't need-
autos.
She doesn't need bigger wings than that. So they're
No.
working just fine.
Yeah, works just fine for her. So
Chin size
Awesome.
is the best
Ooh.
item in the game.
That's
though.
sick.
I love the
Step up.
texture, like the honeycomb texture for the ultimate is exactly what I was hoping for, and it's like absolutely perfect. It's just awesome.
That looks so
I want to see the
cool.
boomerang.
I am a big honey
Auto attack, auto attack.
honeycomb stan. I know some people, and I learned this recently. Some people that actually like freaks them out and is not great for them. So if you are
Honeycombs?
what, yeah, like the shape and the texture, I have been told that that is a thing that some people just cannot stand. So if you are in the audience and cannot stand it, I'm sorry. But otherwise,
That's
this
pretty
is a really
close.
cool skin. So again,
But
look out
still,
for
if
it
you're
in the
kiting back,
mythical
you're never gonna be
market.
able to pick it
But
up.
that's not all. We have more things to talk about. Starting next with actually a skin that you won't be getting for a very long time. This is not gonna. So technically, this isn't available until 11.1. So what is
Oh
it?
my gosh.
2024. It hurts me to even say those out loud, but it's a commendation skin. We like showing y'all this in advance so that y'all know what's at stake if you are mean. So the commendation
mean.
reward, yeah, right. Don't be mean. The commendation reward is Ishtar. So let's check out Gilded Glory Ishtar.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
I'll be a good girl.
Card.
Yeah, I'll whatever you say.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood.
Yes, mom.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yes, mommy, bro. They're being
yeah, so that's
sus.
incredibly epic looking, and again, the commendation reward. So not available. You're not going to see this show up on anybody's in anybody's skin roster until 11.1, which is so far away. We're just toes into year 10 right now. But the white,
That looks really nice.
it looks really, really nice.
That's so good.
And this will be available for everybody who just gets those commendations. So just play nice, be a good
Basically
teammate,
a
try to be a
recolor.
leader, try to be a friend, and
or a guide.
The nice
Any of
colors
those.
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
any of those really.
Any
So-
will do. And make sure you commend your teammates who are doing a good job. You know.
True.
Yeah, you want to give them this skin too, don't you?
Yeah, share the love. So there's a lot of rewards that can be earned via commendations, not just this skin, but this is the pot at the end of the rainbow, I guess. So let's have a good, fun, clean, being nice to each other year 10. Get a cool reward for it, and yeah, that's a long ways away. But either way, it's super cool, and we're super excited about it. So be excited for this coming 11.1. Next up, we have a new chest coming with the next update with 10.2, and that is the Posh chest. And that comes with Sir Snooze Kumbhakarna.
Oh.
Sir Snooze.
Sir
Sir
Snooze.
Oh my goodness.
That's Sir Snooze to
That's
you.
Sir Snooze.
It's so good. I love this like skin line in general. Just obviously has some of the best voice lines in the entire game.
Oh,
I
no
love
doubt.
the personality and everything that they have. And I will say that playtesting and like content testing Sir Snooze Kumba is one of my favorite ones that I've done in a while. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It looks so good.
He's got the drip.
He does got the drip.
I love that jacket. We've been talking about the jackets a lot, right? But I mean, come on, look at that thing.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it is. It would cover
sorry.
my entire.
That looks like a ring pop on his left
you
on
would
his
be able
left
to see
hand.
me in that jacket.
I want
That's a
I want
jacket
ring pop.
fortress for the normal, but for Sir Snooze, beautiful dinnerware.
But he rocks it, man.
He does.
He rocks
And
it.
the monocle.
Yeah.
I love these turnarounds, by the way. Like
So
they are
funny.
so dramatic. I'm
Yeah.
really.
I'm sorry, the face caught me off guard.
No, it's so good. All right, let's hear a voice line.
Be well dressed, behave like a gentleman, and keep your shoes shined.
Gotta be keeping those shoes shine.
Got to keep them shoes shine, honestly. Behave like a gentleman. So yet another skin you can look out for with next week's update. So now we're going to move into some bonus content. There are more skins in 10.2, but we want to talk about the bonus patch for 10.2 first. So the first of these skins that you'll be looking out for is the Fit Check chest, which holds Techno Blaster Hu Yi.
Yeah, I think
Ooh.
he's passing the fit check.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, all of our skins have been so
see that
stylish.
in
I
game.
mean, this guy's giving us some kind of party, surely.
I was about
The
to say,
card art looks
I'll be the
good.
one to say it. Okay, is it a vest or a jacket? It looks kind of like a jacket. It's really cool,
It's a
though.
jacket, and it's really cool.
And it's dope.
Yeah.
So
Can we do, like one non-cool jacket challenge? We fail it.
There has to be.
Is that really a jacket?
We
feel
stay
like that
with
is a
the
vest.
jackets. That's all we make.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Look at that bow.
That
That's like a little
that looks
turntable.
Good.
He's carrying around the jams, dude. He's about to
True.
get the
This
party
skin is-
started.
This skin is sick.
It is kind of sick.
I like it. I like it.
Kind of loving it. I love all the colors too. Anything with changing colors like
Yep.
that. Like I'm a sucker for RGB,
Yep.
so I'm all about
Yeah,
it.
you're a
Oh,
real gamer.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
It's a real gamer hours, and we got some RGB.
Yo, we
out
selling
here to
those joggers
represent.
though? Like those joggers are looking clean and comfy.
I
At
was
the
about to
same time.
say, tweet about it. We'll get it on the merch store. We'll try our best.
That's the best.
So,
Yeah.
let's hear a voice line real quick.
Thing.
Okay.
This venue is lit. Let's do this thing.
There we go. He was nervous. It's his first time playing a show here.
Right.
So,
I mean,
yeah, he's never been in front of an audience this big. It makes sense. But no, looking really good. And again, this will be the first of 2 new skins available with the 10.2 bonus update. The second of which will be within the Touch of Evil chest, and that's Blood Raven Horus.
no way he's got a cool jacket.
Oh, not a jacket.
No.
Yeah, it's armor.
Just a
And
breastplate,
it's cool.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I wouldn't rock that one necessarily, but I mean, I could if I was like
Yeah. If I was
going in. If I was like some type of blood raven,
yeah,
maybe
a blood-laden massive bird person. but
Yeah,
whatever,
like I
man,
would
you know?
probably do that at that point.
This
but-
is a really cool twist on Horus, though, because he's usually like a really nice guy.
yes.
He doesn't look so nice here.
No, yeah, definitely a.
Oh,
it doesn't
he's
look nice
scary.
here either.
Yeah, he is. Wow, he is scary.
Definitely a departure from fun little farmer Horus. So
Yeah, you could say that again.
he's going through his goth phase.
Yeah, but it isn't. A face.
Ooh,
No, it's not.
that looks
This is gonna go
good.
forever.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure.
I like his
Yeah,
helmet.
The skull
helmet,
on
yeah.
top is really cool. Like
That looks great.
the color contrast between the dark gray and the silver and all that kind of stuff like really makes it stand out. Very, very cool.
And plus, I just can't help but call out like the way that the horse stands with the arms down and the wings up is such an imposing stance.
I like the
Yeah,
gradient
that-
on the
Yeah,
wings.
adding that like villainous look makes it immediately look threatening.
Yep.
So super cool. Let's hear a voice line for this one.
The blood god hungers. Very well. My duty awaits.
Is he like gonna steal my soul or something?
He'll probably
well,
still
maybe
use
going
just
on
your
here?
blood
Yeah, just your blood. You have plenty. So
for now.
yeah, for now anyway. So again, that is going to be the second of the 2 available in the 10.2 bonus
That was
update.
good.
So look out for that. That'll be coming, I believe, March 7th. So again, eyes up. Be excited for it. But we have some new stuff coming up that we haven't talked about for 10.2 main patch,
So
and that's more
exciting.
Magic: The Gathering. So
Round 2.
let's round 2. Before we talk about it, though, let's get into a video.
do this. Go take care of them.
That's far enough.
I don't know any of the Magic the Gathering characters.
Kneel.
Looks cool though.
I'm just getting warmed up.
I can handle this.
This land will not be tamed.
That's right, more Magic the Gathering. Are y'all excited?
So
Unbelievably
excited.
excited. You didn't get to hear me gush about it on the 10.1 patch notes because I was sick. It would have gone 15 more hours from everything, but in particular, me talking about all the Magic skins. Unbelievably excited.
Yeah, well, I'm glad for it because I'm excited too, and we have a lot of cool skins to show off. So y'all have been seeing, we've been putting out teasers and showing y'all kind of what's in store over the past couple days, but now's our chance to really see them live and in action. And you know, I'm excited for it. So before we get to them, I'm just going to run over the event. It's the same event from the first patch. For those of you who weren't here to hear me say it the first time, though, just a brief synopsis is it's a Magic the Gathering event. There's going to be, obviously, all skins. We're up to 10 now with the 5 that we will be releasing here. So
Damn,
tons of
another
Planeswalkers
5.
and 1 creature. Don't think I don't remember. So we'll have 5 new ones coming out. We'll have another bunch of Planeswalker quests as well. So make sure that you're getting in and starting those quest lines and earning those free rewards, because that is just a whole, it's a boatload,
I look
a
like I'm
truckload,
posted up
and
there
a
with them.
handful
Just chilling,
of free things you can earn by doing all those different Planeswalker quests. So, and those will all be, you know, there's the original 5, and then we'll have 5 more coming with the update next week. So, and along with the skins, which we'll be seeing in just 1 second, I'll finish talking, I promise. There's also some really cool bundles that I just wanted to highlight because these are really neat. There's a Phyrexian bundle, which is going to have a player title, a fountain skin, and a pedestal. That's cool. Haven't seen any cool pedestals in a while. So we're getting one of those, which I was just really hyped about. And then there's also the Spellslinger bundle, which is going to have a Black Lotus ward skin, which is just, I mean, the Black Lotus is infamous amongst Magic the Gathering
Iconic.
It's
players.
not as expensive as a real Black Lotus.
That's true. This one is, yeah, you will not be put
Yet.
down payment on your house.
You know?
Yeah.
Black Lotus was not that expensive when it was first printed.
True. So we'll see. Give us several years, but yeah, so lots of cool stuff that y'all can look out for. But y'all will get in and explore the event. Just make sure to lock in those quests. I want y'all to get all your free stuff. So let's get into the skins.
All
now,
the
huh?
skins have announcer packs that are unlocked in the quests. I wrote all 10 of them. Do the quests. Listen to them.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna like.
Do the quests, earn the free stuff.
Or else I'll be sad.
Yeah,
You don't want to make
aggro
aggro
to be-
sad,
exactly.
do you? Come on.
You wouldn't, right?
It'd be the next show, but makeup's running and there's
They-
tissues everywhere.
they
So
wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't.
Okay.
They wrote me. They told me.
All right,
So. All right. So anyway, let's get into the skins now. To get to, we've held y'all up long enough, and we're gonna start with Teferi Chronos.
Yeah, this one. I mean,
Oh.
Teferi,
Teferi.
Time Lord. You know, just an absolute master of all-time Magic. Everyone who hates playing against blue and white is
Raising
Teferi
my
is
hand. You guys can't see
their
it, but my hand's
nemesis.
up.
But I, as a Jeskai control player, am. I love Teferi, and he fits so well with Chronos, because when you think of Chronos, it's time guy, number 1,
Yeah.
and number 2, he's got the big staff. Teferi's always got his staff.
The big staff.
So it just made perfect sense, and I think it turned out unbelievably well.
Yeah. I mean, this card art alone is incredible to look at. Oh, and here we have the turnaround. Again, I love it. Plus, it looks so good on like the beach with the background.
Yep, that's where he's going to be dominating, right over here in
Yeah.
the
Right over here.
in the long lane. Yeah,
I mean, it could be in mid. You
it
never
could be
know.
in mid. Yeah, I mean, you never know. You could put Chronos basically anywhere and have him do well, but
Well,
I think
Should
that
you?
yeah, probably. Well, right now maybe.
Yeah.
maybe
You-
he's pretty good.
The community gets to decide.
That's right.
All right, let's go ahead and hear a voice line.
Let's go, people. I'm on a strict schedule here. I'm kidding.
That's so good, actually. I'm sorry. That really caught me. The joke of a master of time being on a strict schedule just really. I mean, I get it, but that broke me a little bit. I don't know what else to say.
I did my best. You know, I was really excited to get a chance to write all the Magic voice packs, as many people.
Guys, I'll be right back 1
obsessed
second while
with
they show
Magic
these
the Gathering.
skins.
Really? No way.
Just spend all of my free time and money on it, and really want to give a big shout out to the whole team that kind of records and makes these voice packs happen, because I think that they all really brought these characters to life in a really exciting way, that feels really true to their characters. And Teferi, actor whose name I forgot to write down, unfortunately, did just an unbelievable job.
On the patch notes, though, we have to the
it's
very
all on
bottom,
the patch notes.
all on
Yeah,
the
please
patch
check
notes.
that
We
out.
got the voice actor names, so because we work with some really incredible people. But to continue to highlight the talents of the people around us, let's check the skin out in game and see what it looks like live and in action.
There he is.
Hey, nice to see you again.
Shout out that voice. I just want that voice actor to read me a story.
I know. Oh, the effects are just. It's just such a perfect pairing here for Teferi to go to Kronos and sling all his blue spells and all that kind of stuff.
He's phasing out.
Yep.
So cool.
Phasing out, just a perfect reference. And there are so many little references in all of the effects choices and the voice lines and all that kind of stuff to various iconic cards from these characters' storied histories in Magic the Gathering that I'm excited for everyone to get a chance to find all the little Easter eggs that the team put in there.
Yeah, so absolutely incredible again, and I love how deep all of the blues are. It's just, I don't know, as always, incredible work done on these skins. But there are more to come. And even as somebody who is just on the outside of Magic knowledge, like I've played it, I'm not as knowledgeable as a lot of my coworkers, but even I have heard rumblings of the name Nicol Bolas, and Tiamat gets to take the honor of having that Planeswalker as a skin. So let's check that out.
Dude.
So cool.
I mean, come on.
That art is incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
When we first were like, yeah, I think we're going to be able to do the Magic the Gathering crossover, Nicol Bolas was like, we got to get Nicol Bolas. You know, that is, for a long time, been the premier villain in the Magic story. It's who the Gatewatch has had to
when's the new god? Come on.
against numerous times, and is the main villain in one of my favorite sets in Planes, which is Amonkhet. Gotta have the God Pharaoh there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and like even during my limited time of playing, this is one of the few Planeswalkers that I actually had and used, and very hard deck to construct. Tricolor is not easy,
right.
but well worth it. And oh my goodness, look at how great this looks.
The effects for this skin, literally, like I legitimately
skin looks good though.
The first time that Shane, the effects artist who worked on Nicol Bolas, showed me them, like such clear references to some of his iconic cards, and it looks so good in game. Yeah,
this skin is just above and beyond.
This skin
the
looks really good,
wings, the etching on the
Gotta
armor,
admit it.
the scales. It's just absolutely glorious. Let's go ahead and hear a voice line.
This plane shall be a nice warm-up for taking over the multiverse.
A little bit of nefarious intent.
Just a little bit. That's kind of like his thing, though.
Just a little bit. Well, I'm still ruminating on the fact that you said that you like gasped at seeing the ability effects, and how could I deprive the community of that? We have to go in game and see this as well. So let's get in there. Let's check this out live and in game. Oh, that looks so good.
The horns, the lighting really on the horns, like
I was looking at the wings, how leathery they look. Like, that's
yeah, the
incredible.
materials are insane on this skin. And oh, here come the effects.
Yeah, those blacked out orbs.
They look so good.
Just so cool. I believe a reference to Nicol Bolas Dragon God, one of the more recent Planeswalker printings for Bolas. Just so cool.
Summoning all the minions in.
Yes, that's my favorite one, that tornado.
So good.
Oh, doesn't that look incredible? I think that's Apex of Devastation, I believe, is the card that references, and it just turned out unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy the contrast between, like, there's the purple and the light blues, and then you have that really striking red against the black. It's just
gotta have all Grixis colors. I was about to say, red, black, and blue. That's Bolas's identity.
It just looks incredible, and you were right. This looks so good. I am super excited to see this in the games that I play. Running me down in arena probably. I don't know. So, man, just absolutely incredible.
It's a lightning bolt on the two.
Lightning bolt too. It's so cool.
Yeah, come on, give me
give me a break. I'm losing it over.
Well,
here.
actually, don't give us a break because we have 3 more to go.
Yeah, no, we have more to go. There are no breaks. It's we're going to continue down the train of amazing things, continuing the Magic the Gathering love with Vivian Reed Artemis.
Oh, as a mono green enjoyer.
Yeah,
I've got plenty of Vivian cards in my deck.
Yeah, Vivian, definitely one of the newer Planeswalkers to be introduced in the grand scheme of Magic's 30-year history.
Yeah.
But has very strong, clear theming on what she's about and, you know, how she wants to interact with the world around her, and is a perfect fit for Artemis, as Vivian Reed is someone who constantly summons version, energy replications of beasts.
If this
that
skin
she's
came with
met.
better Tusky AI, I'd buy
The
it.
Caledonian boar is a natural fit for her.
Oh, and an excellent looking skin in game too. I love how each of these have like they just show off their color identity, I guess, is what I was going for there. So, because the strong green presence and the mono green card style is just super cool to see. I love how the characters are a reflection of the color suit they represent.
I mean, she's all about her arc bow. That's a legendary artifact. It's a huge part of her lore and is what allows her to summon these creatures. And so, Artemis, bow hunter, summons a boar for her ultimate. Like, how much more perfect could it possibly get?
Say.
You know what I mean? It's just such a slam dunk.
Do you think Tusky has trample?
Now, yeah.
Yeah, I'd argue haste as well, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're
absolutely
right.
has haste for sure.
So, and I just have to comment on how green them eyes be, because they be green. That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome looking. All right, let's hear a voice line.
I can only imagine what types of beasts I'll encounter here.
Dude, imagine Vivian being able to summon like the Gold Fury through her arc bow. That's what
That
I
would be
need.
insane.
We just have to stitch a bunch of Jormungandrs together and make a Hydra.
Oh
So,
yeah.
there you go.
Oh, that would be sick.
But all right, so again, super cool, and like all the others, worth seeing in game, which is what we're going to do. So let's dive right on in.
Hello.
Hello.
There she is. Oh my goodness. Look at
Yeah,
those
you
little
know
traps.
that this really bright green is gonna be everywhere in this kit.
That's a pay to lose skin,
It's
bro.
just exactly what I think everyone
can see the
was
traps
hoping for when
too
Vivian
clearly.
Artemis was.
You need those
initially
traps that
pitched.
blend with the ground, color of the
And
ground.
Of course, green. The Spirit Tusky is gonna be making an appearance.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And it looks like the traps close up like bear traps, kind
Yeah.
of. That's really cool. I saw the like clamp.
Yep.
I love that.
That's very cool.
Them got teeth on 'em.
And I love the little like you can see the little explosion hit effects on
That's
the,
what I say
on
for the
arrows
enemies, though,
where it
now?
looks like
I
the
have no
energy is
idea.
Dissipating,
think so.
or,
Yeah.
like, kind of exploding like that. That's a really, really nice touch.
It is a really nice touch. And again, these greens
I
are
don't
just so
know.
vibrant. Like that, I'd argue emerald green kind of, or
Yep.
ethereal
No one
green
plays
is just
Artemis.
Such a powerful color to look at, and to see how well it's represented throughout this kit.
Beautiful.
I'm just slack-jawed over here. I love the color green. I don't know
Yep.
what else to say. So, cool. So that is the third of 5, but that leaves 2 more to go.
That's
and the
good
next
then.
Magic the Gathering skin that we're going to go for, I'm sorry, I'm so aghast by the green and how cool these are. I'm losing my words. We have the Wandering Emperor Mulan.
Yeah, this.
All right.
Oh no.
This one
look
kinda
at
looks
our Predator
cool.
minion.
Well, he didn't need that horn.
Yeah, that's
It's
what it
fine.
is.
And look, if the Wandering Emperor is doing this, it's because the imp deserved it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As a mono white planeswalker, the Wandering Emperor is gonna do what is right and what is just here for, in particular, for her home plane of Kamigawa. But this is another one of the newer characters and newer planeswalkers to join the Magic cast. Really
Yeah.
stepping to the forefront of her story in Neon Dynasty, but instantly a fan favorite just because of
Bro,
how
show me the
incredible
new
that plane is
god.
and how much fun that set was.
That was really, really fun.
Yeah, one of the most popular ones they've done in a long time, and for good reason, because the theming and the art and everything was just so cool. And
and
bringing the Wandering Emperor in to
Be right back
Smite,
one second. I
you
need
know,
to get more
she's
candy.
fairly new to showing up in the Magic story as well. I think is really, really exciting for people who are fans of one of the newer characters in Magic.
Yeah, and I mean, the skin is just, as a big Mulan player, I absolutely love this. I love the sword. I love the gold armor and how it's offset with that like white or light blue robing with the red highlight and trim. It's just overall a beautiful skin design. I mean, obviously adapted from incredible art, which is basically all that Magic the Gathering has, is just a ton of incredible art.
It's
So
true.
I'm just happy to see our team put as much effort as they do into it to make the 3D adaptation absolutely stunning. So let's hear our voice line.
Finally, I'm where I am needed. Now, let's begin.
Getting right to the beginning,
Right to the
protecting.
point. She doesn't
Yeah.
always get to be where she wants to be because for our Magic story aficionados out there, they might understand. But overall, her Planeswalker spark is not exactly dialed in all the time. It erratically kind of transports her around the multiverse. But that's how she became such a great sword wielder, is that she was just constantly traveling and taking down who needed to be taken down wherever she was. and then poofing off to the next plane left and right. Hopefully she can stay in the match long enough for you to complete it, though.
True, hang out. Well, awesome. Let's hop in game and see it. You know we have to.
Hello.
Oh, that looks so
The
sick.
robe is so awesome.
It's so, and the bow, how regal.
Yep.
I just love.
Guys,
this.
I'm gonna have a sugar rush soon.
Yep.
Eating so
Yeah,
much
the-
candy.
Oh, the gold.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
like
all
that.
about being able to transfer energy through her sword. That's depicted in a lot of her card arts, and it translates so well.
It
into Smite.
really does. I love like that I guess blocky effect too.
Yep.
Because I don't know what it is about that somebody who understands effects better would know, but it does emanate that aura of like transferred energy, you know.
Yep. And very reminiscent a lot of the art found on cards from her home plane of Kamigawa now in Neon Dynasty. Now that it's a futuristic plane, really fits in with that home identity for her.
Yeah, I love too on the ult during the stomp phase or where it hits the
I think
ground.
this is the
love
last
how you
one
see, like the stone path form.
for the new map.
That's really cool looking.
Yeah.
So just absolutely incredible all around. I love the like gold and the orange, the deep oranges and like white to yellow gold thing. It just, man. Oh, that was really cool too. The in
Oh,
front.
the last hit?
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
Oh. That's really okay. Cool. Well, I could stand here with my mouth open and stare at this forever, or we can move on to the last skin of the new Magic the Gathering.
There's another skin.
Nissa Ravane Iset. Did I say that right?
You did. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, Nissa is one of the iconic green planeswalkers. Vivian a little bit newer to the cast, as I mentioned, but Nissa's
Okay.
been around for a long time, part of the Gatewatch, and just an iconic character whose story has changed a little bit now with the most recent set, but you know, is her
Oh,
more
no.
classic before anything terrible ended up happening to her. But yeah, we were really excited to go with a pretty unique skin here for Iset as well.
No
this
wings.
is no wings. I believe this is the
Yeah.
first Iset skin without any wings.
You're right.
But the Nissa is in particular very tuned in to each planeswalkers draw their power from ley lines within the world.
Okay.
And Nissa
Does kinda look like Ardia, yeah.
to really connect with the ley lines of planes that she travels to.
Wait, is it an Ardia
being
skin?
so interconnected with the magic system in Magic the Gathering, it kind of made sense for her to be this
Oh, it's
magic
Iset.
wielding mage that is in complete control of that, and Iset is the goddess of magic in Egyptian
Yeah.
mythology. So
The cloak on the bottom.
really
That's very
again, with
Ardio-esque.
A staff,
The way the cloak is, how wide it is.
as well. We take very seriously using these characters' weapons in the game.
Iset has a
and
staff.
what they're typically depicted with. Makes sense for it to translate here into Iset's staff.
Yeah, it does. I mean, with each of these, it's been very cool to see, to have you explain what the process of finding the best one-to-one pairing was, and I just
Yeah.
love hearing that kind of stuff.
Weapon is a big one. for
Weapon
sure.
is a big one. I mean, it's a big, for anybody who has to fight or protect or defend something, that is kind of a key part of the aesthetic. So,
Yep.
cool. Let's go ahead and hear a voice line.
I want to see how she uses her one.
Magnificent, but it is in pain. I must help it.
She is just my favorite planeswalker, period.
Really?
I'm a green enjoyer. So
Yeah,
to see
so I've
two
heard.
green skins in this patch.
Maybe they used the Ardio like character model.
ecstatic.
Thoroughly enjoying. All right, well, I mean, I wouldn't deprive you of seeing this one in game as well, so we
please.
might as well. You got to get in there.
Hi.
Hi.
The effects on this one as well, just absolutely crazy.
The autos
I
look
should have
good.
written down the card. I forget what card the 2 FX is referencing. I should have. It's some elemental that she's got, but I mean, how cool
Okay,
does this
they did.
animation look?
That was
of
cool.
No wings. How are we gonna do wing gust? Well, she's gonna float up there with her magic and,
Yeah, and cast
shoot
it
it all
out.
from the staff instead of from the wings itself, which is a really cool. adaptation.
Whoa. That looks
I
really
love,
good.
like the vines and the elements of nature and all the abilities too. That is so, like, watching them whip around in
Yep.
that orb is just wild.
Yeah, I really should have written down exactly which elemental that was. But again, all about nature, the interconnectivity of all things, as many green
Ooh.
planeswalkers
Spirit Ball looks really
are.
good.
Yeah.
You really get that theming coming through really nicely with that ultimate.
I agree. It's coming together really well. And, you know, if I know anything, the show will end and you're going to immediately tweet out, oh my gosh, the card's name was. So
I know.
It'll be
It's
fun.
from before I was
Fake
playing a lot
Magic
in my
fan, fake
defense.
Magic fan.
Yeah, I was about to say, big Magic fan over here.
You guys are going to make me Google it right now. I'm getting mad.
Listen, I pronounced something correctly. I'm not going to give you any flack. I made it through my day.
Let's go.
So, cool. And that will do it for Magic the Gathering. So those are the 5 new Planeswalker skins that you can look forward to coming with the 10.2 update next week. It's right around the corner. It's crazy. Again, I'll never get tired of saying that. I'm going to be hype every time because waiting is lame. And, I mean, obviously,
to say the least.
be patient, but, like, yeah, it's right around the corner, so don't worry about it. You're good. So there is one last thing we have to talk about on this update.
Finally!
We're super excited about it. Y'all might have seen some trailers, a little bit of a god reveal.
Show me the Manticore.
Martichoras, the Manticore King. And I think we're going to lead into it with a video, so we'll see you back here in just a second.
There are no gods here. Now, pray.
Guy better be sick. It's an ADC, a hunter. Martichoras.
That is Martichoras, the Manticore, the big scary dude with the cool face and the braids and everything.
And you haven't even seen the half of it yet.
I have not even seen the half of it yet. And neither have y'all,
I'm
but we're going to get there together, I
excited.
believe. So I guess let's start how we always do. You know, I've been around Smite for a long time, not as long as some, obviously, but the Manticore has not only a very rich and very complex history throughout the larger world, as it were, but within Smite also kind of a history as well. So as we have the designing parties here, please go over kind of what brought the Manticore from its existence outside of the God selection screen to the God selection screen.
Well, the Manticore is a very special entity to a lot of us longtime Smite players. He's been around the battlefield, you might say, but never really directly on it, being present there. So really, the Manticore was initially an NPC that you would see in the training mode. And there also was a time where he would come and
Holy
be the
shit.
arena
Smite
NPC
used to look
for a
like
while,
this.
who
I
was
forgot.
Eventually replaced with a Minotaur, and there he is in his glory way back in the day. He looks really good there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually didn't make any changes from there to now.
Oh my gosh! Wow, I'm
Look
sorry.
at him
I'm just
go.
looking at this old arena. This was an incredible time of Smite.
And
Old
the
Zeus too.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Zeus
old
too.
mastery skins.
Yep. Yeah, it's been a crazy. It's year 10 for Smite. We wanted it to feel special for new players, but also for longtime players who have been with us since the beginning. And the Manticore has always been this kind of like, haha, running joke. Like we're gonna, it'll be the Manticore.
Remember him?
Remember? Yeah, the Manticore is coming out.
That YouTube video of the
April Fool's
fake
one.
god
Yep.
reveal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, now he's gonna have a real god reveal.
6 years
Here he
ago, I
is.
think.
Yep.
So wow, long time.
A real one. So we were really excited to be able to give a lot of love and a lot of
That's my honor gameplay.
updating to a god that or to an entity in mythological lore that people know that have been playing Smite, but don't really know quite yet. You're gonna know the Manticore
Yeah.
after this, I promise.
And let's talk about that a little bit, right?
Get
Because the
into it.
Manticore is a mythological creature, right?
Yep.
But where did it even come from? So the Manticore in general is a very multicultural beast. The first ever recorded information of a Manticore in general was way back in Greek and Persian times from Ctesias, who was a Greek physician serving under the, I'm going to say this wrong and I'm so sorry, the Achaemenid dynasty from Persia. So he was serving in the court, and basically he was told from hearsay of various travelers that came through the court talking about this mysterious beast that was eating people in India. And so he basically recorded all its features. That was the first actual documentation of this creature.
Wow.
And so it would talk about how manticores hunted and how they would basically stalk their prey and really be about eating humans, consuming humans for sport, and really leaving nothing behind, which is terrifying when you think about it, that this creature is now going to be consuming gods, perchance, you know, if he can make it. But he's going to have to battle through quite a tough roster of various other mythological beings to get there. But
for sure.
A couple of other small details about why Martichoras the name. Well, Martichoras is the Persian name for the manticore, which roughly translates to man-eater. The other word that was used in Greek was androphagos, but that would be kind of referring to like people that were cannibals, so not quite the same, not the mythological creature.
Didn't quite cover the bubble,
not necessarily under the same bracket, right? So Martichoras, Manticore, they're all the same word, but very translated from various different languages. So we wanted to make sure that we were honoring its original heritage by using the name Martichoras.
Awesome. Well, super cool, and yeah, a lot of history. Obviously, I mean, I'm not surprised by this because I've watched y'all do the work, and I'm sure many of you who watch aren't as well, but y'all do an incredible amount of work digging into the lore of each of these characters and trying to not only respect their past, but interpret and respectfully fill in the holes, because there are a lot of things out there that you can't just look up and be like, what did he look like? What color were they? How did they act? How did their breath smell? Like, you can't get all that. There's a lot of having to figure things out, and I know y'all do an incredible job of that. So, we've talked about this character a lot. You guys want to go in game, I think?
Yes, let's go.
Martichoras out in game.
So, there he is in all of his glory. And as you guys can see, he is big for a hunter. He's a hunter, by the way.
Yeah, that's a hunter, by the way.
That's a warrior he's basic attacking.
Yeah, can we just have him go stand next to Odin real quick, just so we can get that nice, quick size comparison? Yeah, he's probably an Odin tall if you were to lay that Odin sideways, plus the tail, plus the wings.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. And as you can see, he's got a lot of really interesting, iconic features of manticores, being those bat wings, scorpion tail, lion body. But he's elevated among the other manticores, the red buff.
So interesting they made this a hunter.
In that he's got, his braids. He's got nice little bling going on in his beard as well. And that's really to give him this more elevated kingly status, because he is the Manticore king.
Yeah.
He is, still a beast, but he's more regal, more proper, more calculating when it comes to how he's
those fives?
consuming.
That's going to be his passive. Puts poison on people.
Feral. He's going to be thinking about the process the whole way through.
Yeah, the brains of the operation. Well, that is all super cool, and we have a lot of cool kit to talk about. So let's just start out with a kit demonstration. Just throw it all at us. Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool. All right, so a lot of things happening right there. A lot of abilities. That one being very interesting, but we're gonna be strong. We're gonna go in order. So let's start with the
Get
basic
to the
attacks.
chopper.
It looks like there's more than meets the eye to these basic attacks. So let's get into it.
And as you very keen-eyed viewers have seen, these are not your average hunter basic attacks. There's some dot damage on the end of there. So to start out with his basic attacks and kind of tying into his passive as well, each basic attack that Martichoras successfully connects onto an enemy, this can be any enemy, god, or minion, or otherwise.
Got it.
It will be doing dot damage. And so each basic attack applies a stack of venom. The first basic attack on any target applies 4. And you can have a max of 8 at any time. So Martichoras' basic attacks deal 90% of his basic attack damage up front, and then they deal 20% basic attack damage over the next 2 seconds. And it'll take 4 times, so that's 5 each time that 0.5 seconds rolls around.
Got it.
But the next fun part about this is that each successful basic attack that you continue to hit that same target with will increase that dot damage by another venom stack. So the more venom stacks that you have on an enemy, the more damage they're taking over time, up to an additional 40% of your basic attack damage from that 20%.
Dang.
So you start 20
Some ramping.
and can go up to 40% at any time, as long as you're staying within that 2-second window, reapplying basics.
That's awesome. So yeah, it really, if you're trading and you're just landing those basic attacks, you're gonna come out on top as long as you're dialing them in. So that's really cool and unique. And correct me if I'm wrong here.
Is he getting some movement speed?
Hunters, the basic attack is coming from the center, from directly. It's the tail over the head. So instead of being a left-handed or right-handed bow user, or like Donza has the gun, like this is coming straight down the middle, which I think is relatively singular amongst hunters. Is that correct?
It depends on the character, really. Some characters go from either side. AMC is kind of one of the most famous ones for being a left-handed shooter, but this was another very unique animation challenge for us to process. He is shooting from his tail. He is a four-legged beast, but he's not using any of those legs to shoot. So, you know, really making sure that these autos from his tail were feeling really awesome and really powerful was one amazing solution that our animation team came up with. Was you know, finding a way to get that tail to really be shooting quickly, especially at those high attack speeds that we know hunters
This
are
is a hunter,
Yeah, but that's one of the big things for new hunter gods is, can we get their
when he
autos
leaves the
feeling
bush.
right? And right is a subjective adjective, and it's
hard to
also
find
like
sometimes.
it's impossible to describe because it's different, but it's the same, but it's different for like everyone. So it's really hard to do, and a lot of times it's just going based on feel. And I think that players will really appreciate how good the basic attacks feel on Martichoras right away. Definitely something that I noticed when we first got him into playtesting was like, didn't feel like I needed to adjust my aim in order to hit the basics, which sometimes you do for some hunters. This one felt really good right out of the gate.
Awesome. I do not doubt that at all. Super cool. So let's move on to the passive, Monstrosity.
Yeah, so this passive is something that you're going to be building throughout the game.
Nice.
But as you can see, he's got a cute little passive meter with this little face on it, and it's going to be slowly filling up as you're doing various hunter actions between hitting basics, hitting abilities, and also getting kills or assists on gods and minions. It'll fill up over time, and then once you hit that threshold of 100 stacks of ferocity, you then will convert it into an attack speed stim for 6 seconds at minimum. And so another really unique thing about Martichoras' stim here is that it's not really on an ability. It's going to be kind of similar to Kakalan Rage, where you're going to have to control when you're going to go into this kind of frenzied state, this monstrous state, you might even say.
Yeah.
And so you can continue to keep this basic attack stim going for up to 12 seconds by continuously attacking gods with basic attacks. So if you are hitting gods, you'll be getting an additional second from that 6 up to 12. And you will be slamming pretty quickly, I dare say.
Slamming pretty quickly. Awesome. That's really cool. And I love stuff like that, too.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
minigame.
not all, by the way.
Okay,
so each time you reach that monstrous state, you also gain a permanent stack of monstrosity. And so each stack of monstrosity that you have is worth 1% physical lifesteal and 1% physical ability lifesteal. And you can have up to 30 of these.
30
in,
stacks!
One single game at any time. So quick math, that's 30% lifesteal and 30% ability lifesteal. So,
holy.
yeah, pretty good, I dare say.
Yeah, y'all just had to catch. Y'all can't see it, but I just did a double take at that's not all, because that's not all. So
it's really, I think this is one of the most unique and fun parts of the kit. Is you want to play the loop of timing your stacks, hitting the right amount, and getting your buff, and the buff feels great and looks great to use and all that kind of stuff. But
it's like one stack per auto. It's 100 stacks.
Buff from it, so it's like you're not even sad that it's over and then you have to start over. You're happy that you got your stack.
I wonder if it only stacks on gods.
Work towards your next stack, which is a really fun design that Laramie really came up with.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. Yeah, because it's rewarding in the immediate and it's rewarding in the long game. So gotta love a win-win situation.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So let's move on to the next, the first ability, Acid Rain.
Yeah, so as you'll see here, this is our circle that goes
cool.
forward in this path, and so he's
awesome.
basically flinging out all of these spines from his wings, and they're raining down in sort of this acidic, venomous rain. So as you'll see, there is that circular point of damage that's doing a bit of burst, and then if you remain in that poisonous field any longer, you will be slowed and taking damage over time. But as soon as you leave the field, slow's gone, damage is gone. Just a pretty solid wave clear, and a really unique thing about this is that you can actually fire it from a distance, so it doesn't have to be right in front of you. You have a pretty solid range poke to be able to throw this
quite
from
the
a
long
decent,
range.
Distance away.
Yeah, I was about to say, that has quite the range on it. That's really cool. I just love the effect of that. Not only the the ability, like I can't think of the word, the indicator of where it's going to be, because that
doesn't do
really
too much
cool,
damage, though.
But just, I don't know, the effect of the ability itself is incredible.
At least to the Odobot.
The like acid splotching and bubbling, the way it hits the ground.
Yeah, standing in that probably hurts a lot.
Look at the numbers.
It looks like it would.
I would recommend against it.
Especially now there aren't any shoes on the battleground. I mean, come on. So
right on the feet.
That's an old meme.
I mean,
so
for a
next
hunter
up,
to
we
be
have
good,
another
he
ability
needs to
called
have
Acid
good clear. So this ability hits the whole
This
wave,
is
so
his
it's
cue, and
decent.
so what you'll see here is that there is a line attack, and then there's that kind of grayed out circle. And so what you'll notice is that when you click the button, the line is what happens first. And this pierces minions and stops in the first god hit, and basically impales them with this giant poisonous barb. And so what you'll notice is that if you drop it on the ground here, there will be a range around it, and so you can actually blow this thing up with a basic attack, Acid Rain, or when we get to the ultimate, we'll talk about it there. But you have those 3 options to blow it up, and it'll do damage and anti-heal to anyone hit by it. And that includes when they're impaled by the spike as well. So while you're impaled, you're anti-healed, and then after the explosion, anyone hit by the explosion is also anti-healed. But there's one more small feature that comes with this, and you know, those keen-eyed viewers might also be seeing it. If you impale a god and then explode the barb, they are rooted, and it's only the god that's been hit by the stinger that's rooted. So not so much CC here, but it is very, very strong in those one-on-one fights, especially when you can blow it up with other abilities as well.
Yeah, especially if you're laning against, you know, a lane that has a healer in it. It'll help you with those trades a lot to land that ability, because you're going to negate some of their ability to get that back mid-combat.
Because that's 10 seconds maximum of anti-heal if you're able to really min-max that time.
Yeah, the detonation and the time lodged into the god, so that's really cool. And so much utility, too. You got to love an ability that has that much utility, because it gives you a lot of room to play and learn how you can finesse and really get the most out of it. So like you said, min-maxing.
Yep, and to be clear, the spike will last either deployed or inside of whoever you've hit for 3 seconds. So you have 3 seconds to blow it up, and then after that time, it will just go away.
Oh, you have to blow it up.
Very cool,
okay.
too. Yeah, if it's just on the ground anyway. I don't know about stuck in a god. You can see the indicator of that circle kind of
Does it just explode on its own?
Indicate. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
gotta love the visual indicators on the map, so that because I don't count when I'm gaming. I'm screaming and mashing buttons. So super cool. The next ability is one that I'm really, really anxious to talk about, because this is just super new. That's Stalk Prey.
So, it's been a long time coming, but finally we have a god that makes their own stealth grass. And so this ability is so much fun, because you can really build your own jungle, more or less.
Wait, how long does it stay?
As you can see here, our driver is demonstrating just the power of being able to stack up 3 of these guys. You can have 3 bushes at once, and each of them lasts for 3 minutes on their own. So what's going on here is basically you are stealth. But it's not your normal, everyday, average stealth. If someone were to walk into this bush or were to place a ward in it, you would be revealed. And so it works a little bit differently than your typical stealth in that way.
It's going to be nice for like Gold Fury and Fire Giant fights.
You would also be revealed. Another very special
of course,
thing
just being
about
in the
this
lane,
is that it works for
just
your
being in the
teammates
bush
as well.
while you're in the
so
lane.
You can throw one down around a Fire Giant, maybe catch someone off guard when they're trying to go ward it. That's a really fun way that we've been seeing it be used. And then additionally, for Martichoras specifically, he gains movement speed while inside of the brush, and then also for a couple seconds after he leaves.
This would be great for the lane and great for
escape mechanism if he
Gold
needs
Fury
to
and
get
Fire
out.
Giant
That's
dances.
his runaway button, more or less. It's dropping this at your feet, doing a little juking around, and then getting the heck out of there.
Sieging Phoenixes
but the
too.
other small thing that this does
any
is
place
that
that you're
going to
be for a
and
while.
you basic attack an enemy to
nice.
leave your stealth, you're also applying max stacks of venom, so that's 8 stacks immediately. With your basic attack. So that has to be revealing you from the stealth. It's not leaving and then doing it. You have to be inside of the bush and revealing yourself with that attack to get that 8 stacks right away.
That's a sneak attack. You gotta, if they don't expect
That's
you,
so
you
cool.
get it right off. So my first question is, you say it works with allies. Does it stealth enemies?
It does not. It is only for your squad. So enemies can be on top of it, and they'll see anyone who's inside of it.
Yeah.
But if you're not in it, you know, it's kind of a scary deal. You know, you could just walk up and face check the grass, but do you want to be doing that when the respawn timers are hitting 50, 60 seconds? It's a little bit risky to do.
I was about to say immediately, and you already said this, but I can just imagine, like, you just put them in 3 totally different locations around the Fire Giant pit, and they're coming up trying to posture, and they're like, there could be 5 of them in one of these bushes, and I have no idea which one it is.
It really creates really unique feeling engagements.
Yeah,
Not
your
even
teammates
just
are stealth
around fire,
too.
where it's obviously like super strong.
Just
but,
like that, yes.
In lane, like if you based and came back to lane and you didn't see Martichoras go into one of these grass bushes, like there were plenty of times where I'd come back to lane, Lermy's ahead of me because she always is, and I'm like, if she's in this bush, I'm just dead.
It's just game over.
And you feel legitimate fear like walking near it. Because you know, unless you have a ward, you really can't check it very safely.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you can be in a playtest and get soloed and then
Yeah,
come
you
back
could
to
put
the
him. You could
purple,
put him
and
down
where
in.
me and 2 of her allies are for some reason in
I
it
remember that.
on top of my purple buff. I was already 2 levels down, but it's fine. It really sets up a lot of
Could set it up for your jungler
different
too. Yeah.
gameplay scenarios.
Nice.
That are
That's a really cool ability.
Unique to Martichoras, and
When they
really,
first showed it, I was a little disappointed because I thought it was only
they're
going to be
strong,
one.
and that's what.
And I thought it
makes
was just like a
fun, is
worse
that
Danza
it
3.
really does, and it changes
But now,
how you're going to play
you
the
have
game
3
around
down and all the
this
effects.
one
It's
ability,
actually so good.
in a really cool way, especially when we're at 125. This is 125 joining Smite, I believe. This is the 125th god.
Yes.
Finding a way to impact your whole game flow this many gods in is something that we're always trying to do, and I think that Martichoras does it really well.
Yeah,
I
another
agree.
small detail with this is that you can actually back in the grass. And
Yeah,
no
that's
one
big.
will ever know.
Oh,
And that gives us a chance to look at this back-end animation, which, by the way, super sick looking.
I agree. Oh man. Well, and all those totally theoretical stories that you were just telling, and many more that I could think. I mean, I'm just gonna use these to get back to lane. I'm just gonna have them tactfully laid out throughout my
you could do
lane.
that.
So
Yeah,
just
you
run
can.
So many options. I could probably sit here. We could talk about all the different.
All right, let's see the
ways to use
alt.
it for,
Let's see
like,
the
another
alt.
3 hours, but we can't do that. We're just gonna.
No.
Yeah, it's up to y'all to make these up and then send us really awesome clips on Twitter of how awesome y'all are at using this ability to pull one over on your enemies. So super awesome. Let's get into the ult though. We love seeing ults. This ult is called Death from Above.
And that's certainly what it is. So Martichoras becomes CC immune, as you're seeing. He's going to fly up into the air for 3 seconds. And so this is basically
Long time.
a
How have you
auto
been?
fire, rapid
What's up, Amir?
fire
Thank you, man.
ability that is
Good.
raining down these like poison toxic bursts from the sky. And so you can move around
That
while
looks
this is
very
happening,
strong.
You can change your aim, and of course you can use this to run away if you really need to. But who's going to want to do that when you've got 12 bursts of damage, each one applying a physical protection debuff? And it stacks as well. So the more shots that you're hitting on an enemy, the longer this debuff is going to last, and also
A physical
the more,
protection
drastic
debuff?
this debuff is gonna be. Up to 40% physical protection if you land 8 of the 12 shots on a single target.
Oh, 8.
So
Okay, so it's 5.
it's a big
5 per.
portion of those circles that you do have to hit, but it affects your whole team as well. So any other physical characters that are following up
Sheesh. It's
on
like
that
an
debuff
executioner,
that you
bro.
applied are also going to be going crazy. So
It's an
he's a bit of a
executioner.
team player, you know. He's one of those characters that you might say, oh, he looks like he might stalk on his own, but he's okay with the team as well. You know, he's owned up to it being the king and all.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And they just our driver just showcased how you can detonate the poison barb
Exactly.
as well with the with that ult. So
And you can chase
super
them
cool
too,
way
like-
to, get that anti-heal
Because you can move in the
proc it
alt,
with
so you
your
could just
ult and
like
then get
use
the
your
shred
2
off
alts
really
and then move
just
forward
you
and
know?
chase them
Yep.
for the solo
Yeah,
kill.
this ultimate feels really fun because
That's
you just
crazy.
press 4 and then
That's
you're up
very
in the sky
powerful.
And you don't have to, our driver back there isn't slamming left click really fast in order to get all those shots to come out really quickly. They happen automatically. You get to just focus on your aim and
positioning.
making sure that you're landing those shots. And it's, it really gives it this really unique feel. You know, we have a couple of ultimates that get you up in the air like that, but Martichoras feels really, really fun for that rapid fire feeling instead of like Freya, who's 4 big bursts.
I like 'em.
You have to click up for each one.
I like
Having
'em.
it be this machine gun that goes off by itself is really cool.
Yeah, as you'll see, is a little
That
bit of a
alt is
theme throughout
so
his kit. He's all
good.
about these small numbers that add up between his basics, between Acid Rain, between Death from Above. They're all these kind of little numbers that you wouldn't expect to hurt a lot, but once you start getting hit by a lot of them, they're going to add up, and they will do some damage.
Nice, yeah, that's super cool. So, and you know, just as we are done seeing the kit now, in y'all's experience playtesting and having gone through this so far, how's this character stood up? You know, are there any crazy combos y'all have seen, or kind of what playstyle has Martichoras really brought in that you feel is unique to this character in y'all's experience so far?
Yeah, so as you can see, not a whole lot of CC, not a whole lot of movement.
Hey, you can definitely build him power
He certainly
pen.
has a couple of very unique ways to play safely or to self-peel himself, whether that's, you know, dropping a bush on your feet, dropping Acid Rain on your feet, being able
Have your alt one
to
shot.
really just hunker down and fight with his lifesteal for monstrosity if you absolutely need to. He has a lot of tools
Yeah,
to stay in
attack
the
speed and
fight, and he's
lifesteal
one of
from
those
your
characters
stacks.
that will
Your passive
win you a
stacks.
fight or die trying.
Yep. Yeah, I think the big thing for Martichoras is that he is going to stand his ground and one of you is dying. Like, anytime you're starting
Looks
a
like you
full-on
can
game
Aegis
with
most of that.
Martichoras, he does a lot of
Looks like
damage.
you can Aegis most of that alt,
But
right?
it's very susceptible to incoming damage at the same time because of the lack of mobility, and it creates this playstyle that is really fun when you make the mindset shift of,
Yeah.
I don't need to live. I need to do as much damage as I can before I go
No,
down.
if you auto,
that type of play style,
Get
the players
revealed
who
in
like playing
in the
gods like
bush.
Freya, who are just, I'm down to just dump all our buttons and see who wins. That's kind of Martichoras, but in a physical form. And so I think that style of physical hunter, that all in, I'm going to out DPS you, but I'm susceptible to getting, outnumbered and that kind of stuff is a fun, unique play style to the physical hunter class that I think players are going to be excited to play.
Not to mention, I can't wait to see people do
listen,
his
guys,
stuff.
I'm
Right?
not sure if
That's
this
gonna
god
be
is
such a-
OP. Okay, let's take it easy.
Because, the fact that it
They
affects
think
your
he's
team
balanced.
adds a
Doesn't
whole
have any
layer of-
CC.
There's a new interaction for 124 other gods.
Doesn't have
That's
any
what the number
CC.
is, so again,
No
I am
mobility.
So looking forward to
Just a bush.
PTS
No
and
mobility.
Rivalries both.
Just
The
a bush,
timeline on Twitter
guys.
just blowing up with clips of y'all like 5 people hiding in a bush in solo lane level 1, or just some really cheesy nonsense. So please do it. I'm looking.
I would not call him OP.
But we've talked about it. Let's see some of the card arts as we get into it. Let's just see what the standard card art looks like. I just want to see it.
And there he is, in all of his
He looks so
venomous,
fake. That face, for some reason, just throws me off. He just looks
normally when a god is like smiling in their portrait, that makes them look like
fake.
friendly and welcoming.
Doesn't he? I don't know.
For some reason, I can't
The
really
face
think
throws
of
me
why.
off.
I don't feel very welcomed.
Is it the skulls, the bones?
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it could be contributed to one thing. I just
Something's
think,
not
it's
right
very
here.
Perceptive and just reading between the lines.
Something's not right here.
Yeah, I'm just getting the vibe that that isn't a
He might eat you.
friendly smile.
No. Yeah, one of the things about Manticores
I think the
is
face
that,
is too
since
human.
some of them do have the capability
I think
to
the face
speak,
is too human.
a lot of it is through intimidation, and usually they'll eat their prey whole, leaving absolutely nothing behind, not even their money, their possessions, their belonging. They'll eat it all. But Martichoras here likes to keep a couple trophies to really be that intimidating, terrifying.
This is how I look when they say they're gonna buff
You
tanks.
gotta love a king with an eye for interior design. So let's hear a voice line real quick.
Maybe it is the nose. Yeah, it
the
could be the nose.
Manticores have been mercilessly slaughtered by the gods.
He
Now,
looks like a human.
It is my turn.
Yeah, it's just
to
the face is
hunt
too human, I
them.
think. I really think that's what it is.
He's scary, man.
Crack job on the voice too. Like that just I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm seeing the face, I'm hearing the voice. It's kind of lining up. It's exactly what I think it should be.
Yep.
And like you said,
It should be
intimidation
human.
is there.
I understand, but like it just doesn't
100%.
fit.
All right, so let's look at some
with
of
the rest of the
new
ensemble.
gods come out. They have these cool recolors. Let's look at some of those, starting with Imperious Martichoras.
Oh, this art is amazing.
Yo.
And
That's
so
horrifying. Look at the
Dude, he looks more of like
yes,
a beast
one,
here.
One small detail that we may have missed in the model turnaround that you guys are going to have to look for in game is in some of his idle animations, he actually shows off this really terrifying jaw that comes completely unhinged. Because, I mean, how is he supposed to swallow people whole if he just has a little normal basic mouth? No, his whole jaw comes open. And it's terrifying. You might be able to see it here, in fact, if he plays one of
The face throws me off so hard.
In there. Oh, man.
Yeah, he's terrifying. But in the best way, he's scary, but he's got a little bit of a smile going on there.
Yeah.
Again, not.
It throws me off so hard.
A grin a dentist would be proud of.
Yes.
Cool. So let's move on. So this is the standard recolor. Let's move on to the Ascended skin. Ascended Martichoras.
Oh, and this is a bit of a throwback as well to his classic colors of being purple.
Yep.
His poison typically, in his base at least, was that green color, but we gotta do a little bit of a throwback to our OG.
A little bit.
And this purple looks so good on him, by the way.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Very cool little homage to the classic Manticore color scheme.
Yeah, and it looks so good. I'm a purple fan, so I'm all out here for it.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It looks great.
Such a cool throwback. So, and again, Ascended skin, part of the year 10 pass.
I look
so make sure you
uncomfortable.
pick that
Bro,
up,
something
because,
about the
you don't have
face
the
is
God
just
pass.
throwing me
It will
off.
give you the skin, the god, the voice pack. It'll give you the whole 9 for every new god that comes out this year. So pick that up if you are so inclined. It is well worth it. But now we got to get into what I'm going to refer to now as the Learn Me Will Have Them Soon skins, the Mastery skins. So let's check the Masteries out.
Ooh.
Oh, that's so cool.
And once again, the mouth is terrifying.
Yep.
The stare, absolutely intimidating.
The fleshy bat wings are freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah, you're gonna get eaten in just a couple of seconds
Yeah,
here.
this
He's
is
only,
the victory pose. Like it's over. When he hits this, it's done.
Ooh, and look at those textures, by the way. Can we talk about just how cool it is to see those like nice metallic shines on all of those typically organic materials? Because this was an interesting challenge as well for our
That's
3D art
interesting.
team to figure out, he doesn't really have many accessories to bling up.
Bro, his
to really
paws.
make the legendary
His paws
skins
look
pop.
really
As
good.
you can see, it just looks so sick.
I'm not
with
gonna get the face
claws,
anymore. I'm gonna look at
horns,
the
hair,
paws.
The tail. I mean,
The
you got
paws
everything
look
here.
good.
Very gilded, very kingly too. It kind of fits the aesthetic of the king to have this gilded crown of golden horns and like the gold-plated claws and everything.
Yep.
It's just
And the diamond. I mean, can we talk about this diamond?
Dude, that texture, like, that is crazy.
That's super crazy.
It's really melding the organic with these like kind of gemstone like qualities that our mastery skins have, and this is one of the coolest diamond skins I think that we have, and just like the sheer blend that we've done here between those two materials, and he just looks shiny, man.
He just does look shiny. I think you hit the nail on the head. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, you've seen it all. You've seen some incredible stuff on this update show. We have the balance, obviously, and again, if you want to look over that, update notes are out. Go check it out. All the new skins, Magic the Gathering crossovers, Martichoras out. Well, soon, almost out. Y'all have seen him out in the wild now. Stalking the Battleground will make its presence known. PTS on Friday. And
Which I'm out on Friday.
Next Tuesday, which is just right around the corner. So only very few sleeps away. But it's been an incredible show so far. I'm looking forward very
Wait, how do you spell
much to the second
Martichoras?
update
Chad, how do you spell it?
Smite's Year 10 and of the Season of Monsters, bringing yet another horrifying monster to the forefront of the Battleground. Excited to continue down this path and show y'all what's next when the time comes. But for today, that is everything we've got. Thank y'all for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
As always, incredible people to have here. They make me look good. That's why they're here all the time, is because I can just ask questions and they do beautiful work. So thank y'all so much. We look forward to seeing you on the Battleground, and catch you later.
Peach it.